Yo, Miggle, Sly, D'Lo. Oh, I'm so excited to play this. It's gonna be so relaxing. Damn. For a day straight, I've been playing Deadlock. I'm like obsessed with that game. I can't stop. Oh my god. Still practicing some Ratchet every day so I don't get too rusty, but yeah, when it comes to that, I'm thinking maybe I should come back to AGB first. Like, I want to do New Game Plus first, but I want to, if I actually do New Game Plus runs, like grind it, I want to do Poke Skip, and it's doable, but it's just taking some more time than I thought. It's definitely realistic. It's doable for me to like do New Game Plus runs with that. I know it for sure. But maybe AGB is the way. What happened last time? We went to the festival and oh shit, Tomitake. Yeah, by the way, Tomitake-san is fucking dead and we killed him. I mean, I don't know, maybe we killed him. Some fucking cop was questioning me. Like, what the fuck? Not cool. I'm in trouble. Maybe. Possibly. It's bullshit, though. It's bullshit. I didn't do anything wrong. He did die, and we were the last ones to see him, and he died in a shirt where he had our writing on it. We literally signed his shirt, and he was found with his neck, like, clawed out. This shit's crazy. I don't remember that from the anime. I don't remember anything about this guy dying and it being like a suicide, but also not. Like, I think he was like attacked. He was attacked and also killed himself. So something attacked him, and it was so bad that he was like, let's just fucking die, Dale. And just fucking, yeah, ripped his throat out, took out his jugular. It's like, nah, I'm gonna be the one to do it. He said, now watch this drive to the demon, and then just ripped it the fuck out. True story. I was there. That's what happened. Not because I killed him or anything. I mean, I wasn't the demon. Yeah, I really need to get 100 line. Let me double check. Yeah, that's a visual novel. Really enjoying visual novels lately. What's happening with the girls? Oh yeah, just silly card game stuff in our club. Let me try to recap. My dad's an artist, yet I don't take any interest in his work. My mom is just like your quintessential anime mom. It's very sweet. Um, hmm. Reina's the weirdest. Reina and Mion are the most suspicious right now in this arc because they're the only two that I've brought up the crazy shit in Hinamizawa too. and they're like, what are you talking about? Even this thing that every single person in this town knows about, this small village. I don't know what you're talking about. That's not real. Oh yeah, and apparently Mion's family, there's protests against that. There were protests against that dam being built, and Mion's family was in charge of the protests. And the people in this village think that the deaths are some curse, Oyashiro or something, like some shrine curse, some like mythical curse, but it's obvious that it's not a curse. Like someone's up to no good. Something's going on. Yo, Matt. Sup? Yo, Oblivy. Charlie for Roger. I Roger, like Roger's him. He's literally him. Oh, that episode is so good. He takes a fucking Steve to like a crack house and says that he's going to Hogwarts. Yay, watch streak. Teehee. Ooh woo. What connection does Reina have to the murders? Oh, the cop also said Furu Days or whatever, that family was under suspicion. I think that's Rika's last name. And I think her family is, she was dressed up for the shrine thing because, like, her. De las Manos, yeah, oh my god. Holy shit. I was binging American Dad with Danny a lot recently. I'm glad he really likes it. He likes it more than Family Guy. He saw the light. I mean, Family Guy is great, but American Dad, it is slept on. I binged American Dad and got so into it for so long. Like, it wasn't until my second rewatch of like the best seasons of like American Dad, like 5 years ago. The best seasons up until that point, I was like, oh wait, there's no cutaway gags. Like, like holy shit. And the cutaway gags in Family Guy, sometimes it's a hit or a miss. Sometimes they're great, sometimes they're really not great. But maybe that's like part of the charm of American Dad. I can't think of examples right now though, but what I will say is I feel like sometimes they like, I guess you could say this for a lot of like animated shows like this, but they repeat the general like storyline. The lesson you learn at the end is kind of like the same shit, but I mean, it's really not like that deep of a show. Just like catching up on the seasons I missed in the past couple of years, like shit from season 12 onwards. I'll be watching it and it's like, yeah, we like kind of for American Dad, we were here already. Like it's a funny show, but at the end of the day, like one of the characters is giving like a half-ass speech and it's like we've been here already. Shows need to end. To make a long motherfucking story short, shows just need to end. No show needs to go on that long. Is It's Always Sunny even still good? I don't think so. They like came out with a new scene recently and now like Rob McElhenney is like a douchebag. Something like that. Oops, wait, did I switch my scene? That video he released of like how he wants to be called by a different name was like really douchey, yeah. Oh yeah, I watched the first two seasons of that like a really long time ago. Like I think I binged it like right when the second season started airing, and I saw people really liked how it finished. Like it was pretty good all the way through. Good shit. I wonder where I'm at in my Sopranos rewatch. Danny's first watch of it. Oh yeah, that's right. We started season 5. Yeah, I'll definitely consider finishing that, yeah. I need to fucking remember. Fuck. I love that song. Oh yeah, my favorites are the ones with Ralphie. Ralphie's just so entertaining to watch because he's such a piece of shit. And then the way his like whole arc, like wraps up, is just like it fucks with me. My favorite scene in the whole show, like the whole entire show, is that scene where Tony confronts him about Pi Oh My. Yeah, the best antagonist, 100%. I know that like the end of the show is like pretty intense and it's an amazing ending, but oh my god, the tension with Tony and Ralphie, like you can't like I have that scene of them yelling at each other, the lines memorized because that argument is just so interesting to me. And here's my opinion. I don't know if this is a common opinion because I really don't like know the discourse on like Tony versus Ralphie. I just know like a lot of other people really like him as a villain. Like that's not an uncommon thing. But like Ralphie had a point. Like he's a piece of shit, so like, the way that scene wrapped up, I'm not like crying, you know. I'm not like feeling bad for him, but like that's why the argument is so ingrained in my brain because like he made some good points. And I love animals, but like I'm sorry, but like the last sentence he ever says is so fucking funny. Like he kind of got Tony's ass. Like he really did. Like what, is he a fucking vegetarian? Like no, he's not. Like he's just like constantly like heavy breathing in his like strip club office, like shoving like deli meats down his throat. Like yeah, exactly. It is funny. It is funny. This show is just such a good show. It's so interesting. And then we're like left to ponder like was it really like I know some people think it was like Tracy that, sparked that whole thing. I'm trying to be like vague even though like yeah, it's like such an old show. So it really doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying he didn't care at all about um what happened to Tracy and whatever happened there with Tracy and Ralph, but I think that if it was truly about Tracy, then he would have done something in the moment. I mean, or like closer to when that happened. I mean, he's the boss. I think Tony is truly just like fucked up in the head and like he cared about the Tracy thing, but he is like a sociopath piece of shit. Like it was the horse pushed him over the edge. But he's so it's just so interesting. And when oh my god, when Christopher like lifts off his toupee, holy shit. It's literally yeah, no, the Ralphie seasons are the best seasons. They're literally like It's not even a question to me. Okay, I've been drinking like a bit of coffee. I have to pee real quick and then I'm gonna start this. Sorry. Didn't mean to talk for 15 minutes, although I like having a bit of an intro now. It's really nice. I'll be right back. Ralphie's just such a slimy piece of shit, but like, holy shit, he really. I was pulled into that show from like the first episode, but it was like intense. I really started binging it intensely when it was like the start of season 3. Towards the end of season 2, actually. Like the way the Richie April thing like wrapped up was pretty, it was also intense. And Janice is so disgusting and so easy to hate. Like, I hate her. We all do, but she is so vital to the show. Especially like as the show goes on. Like later on, she's so important. To like understand the whole family dynamic. Just Tony if he had no power. Exactly. Like Janice and Tony are okay, she doesn't have as much like bad impact on the world, but like people act like Janice is the worst. Like she's horrible, she's disgusting. Oh my god, that scene with her and Ralphie with the vibe. Oh my god. I can't even like I literally felt like half of my gag reflex start like she's evil. That's a really bad example to come up with, but it's like oh wait, I was just about to say she's never had anyone killed, but well, never mind. And I was just talking about wow. But I mean, just overall, the grand scheme of things, like I think she's got like one body. She's disgusting, but Tony is truly repugnant. A special kind of evil. Janice has no power, and she's just so fucking annoying and slimy. A cheater, manipulative. Oh, this stuff with Bobby's kids. Yeah, she's really like nah. It's kind of crazy. Conniving, yeah. Literally no shame. Yeah, so Rika and Mion are under suspicion. Did I look at the tips last time? I don't think so. Few new tips. There are more than 4 perpetrators. Okay, in order.
自分で喉をかき破った出血性ショック死。
What the fuck? Hypovolemic shock? Yeah, sure. I don't know what the fuck that means.
爪の間に皮膚片が残っておった。間違いなく本人のものじゃわい。傷の形も一致する。
You're Starlight, you're Glavin.
直接死因が自殺ってのは分かってますよ。
分かっとるわい。人為的にこういう症状が起こせんかと言っとるんだろ。
This is the Higurashi visual novel, the first chapter of it. It has a bunch of sub-chapters, but I really loved the anime in middle school. Maybe like the first year of high school was when I watched it. And yeah, I added a mod to do like the original art, which is really awkward looking. And like the 4:3 format.
背中が痒くて書きすぎて血が出ちゃうのとはちょっとわけが違いますからね。
Some of Tomitake's fingernails had been pulled out. Fingernails actually rip off surprisingly easily. Ouch, but it really hurts. Wait, is that true? Is that real news? Under normal circumstances, the pain would prevent you from completely pulling them out. Also, there were a lot of bruises on Tomitake-san's body. I'm adding the san there myself, doesn't it? It's clear from the shape of them that he was assaulted first by someone or a group of people.
分泌物から見て、仏は極度の興奮状態にあったのは間違いないの。
Higurashi is one of my all-time goats. Really, Arklet?
では乱闘になって興奮のあまり自分の喉を引っかき出したってことですか。
I'm really liking
襲っ
the
た連
first
中
chapter
さぞや
so
度
far.
肝を抜かれたでしょうな。
It's possible that in such an abnormal environment, a person could perform acts that a sane individual couldn't possibly imagine. Of course, those are very rare cases.
実はな、大石。仏が武器にしたらしい角材な。砂粒とかガードレールの塗装片とかそんなのしか出んかったぞい。
Do you play a lot of visual novels in general?
星の服の繊維とか皮膚片とかは
I've only played a few. I've only played like Danganronpa besides this. And there were some shorter ones I've tried recently. Like very short. I'm not gonna say the name of what they are because it's
出んかった。仏は犯人を殴っとらん。あるいは殴った角材を星が持ち去ったのかもしれんの。
ならわざわざ角材なんて置いていきませんよ。全部持ってっちゃいます。
not safe for work.
それもそうじゃの。
富武氏は結構体格もいいし肌も焼けてるしスポーツマンですよね。
うん、そうだな。よく運動しとるようだの。
These hands. Can't imagine what kind of sports he did when he was alive, but I think his physical strength would be on the higher side. Meaning he would be difficult to overpower in a brawl. Yeah, look at those boulder shoulders. The man with such physique sensed he was in danger and swung the plank around frantically. It's just unthinkable that I wouldn't even nick the perpetrator. And his opponent was unarmed. The guy had a wooden plank, so you'd think he'd hit them at least once.
こんだけ体格のいい相手を取り囲んで襲おうとしたら何
アホ、それは大石の方が得意だろうが。アクタレ時代を思い出さんかい。
If I was to take down this guy, how many would I need? When a group wants to take down big prey, it's fundamental to attack with numbers. I'd guess about 4. Even if there was a gap in their strength, they'd manage. Oh, shit! Oh. And how many members are there of the club we've got? Ooh, shit. I don't know, man. I don't know.
だとすると、結構犯人は大人数だの。祭りで泥酔した4人以上のグループが怪しいとなるかの。
Group of 4 or more. Just, if they had that many, couldn't they have hidden the body in a less obvious location? Or did he somehow break away from that fatal predicament? Then there would be no reason to commit suicide. Moreover, I still can't comprehend the irregular way he died. It's full of
こっちも
mysteries.
そこは重視しとる。徹底的に調べるつもりだが、あまり期待できんな。何しろ、過去にこんな例はないんだからな。
No Ebo.
期待はしませんよ。ですが結果を楽しみにしてます。
おいさん、課長が呼んでるっす。
すみません。ではまた来年お会いしましょう。
おお、いいお年をの。
Yeah, this is a visual novel. It's a creepy visual novel. Higurashi, a classic. I gotta try Umineko after this. Parentheses deceased. Resided in a cheap hotel in Shishibone City. Registered under the name Jiro Tomitake. Pen name. Travels via folding bike. No license. The bicycle was found 300 meters away, abandoned at the side of a forest path. Present on the day of the festival, accompanied by the missing Mio Takano. Was seen around 9 p.m. by police, location afterwards unknown. Held residence in Hinamizawa for 1 week each season for the last 5 to 6 years. Freelance photographer specializing in wild birds. Check with magazine companies. Nothing suspicious in the film located among the articles of the deceased. Wall was among the articles of the deceased. Mere act of violence? Question mark? Real news? From the contents of his wallet, he spent most of his time around Tokyo and Chiba. Along the Sobu National Railway line? Question mark? Question mark? Maybe? No individual matching the name Jiro Tomitake in the residency records of any of the Tokyo wards. Compare teeth to dental records. Send to Metro Police. Attach a photo. Send to Metro Police. Contact magazines regarding Jiro Tomitake. Mio Takano. That's... They just reminded me of her. She was kind of cute, by the way. Fuck. But, like... I feel like they're foreshadowing that it's, like, the harem that I'm a part of, like, attacked this guy. Because this tip just said 4 attackers. But... Yeah, she's missing. Does she have something to do with this? Oh no. Oh no. It's so confusing. Nurse at Irie. Everything Gwambi Irie. Became close to Tomitake through her passion for wild bird photography. Resides in Okonomiya X District. Blah, 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 blah. Single. Nah, she was dating Jiro. Witnessed accompanying Tomitake on the festival grounds, currently missing. Abducted? Question mark? Possibly? Or maybe a suspect? Question mark? An important person of interest. I think she's dead too. They just haven't found her body yet. Honestly. Had no motive to kill the deceased. Squabble from jealousy? Question mark? Need to thoroughly investigate their relationship. Exclamation. Place of work, etc. Need to get information from the police on scene again. I want some cream puffs. 4 jumbo ones. Oh my god, same. Onwards. Oh my god, going from the creepy music to that fucking bullshit. Sleepy. I'm usually awake once it's time to eat, but it doesn't look like I can do it today.
ゆうべ遅くまでテレビ見てたら眠くて眠くて。
ケイちゃんが喜びそうな番組なんかやってたっけ？
How does she know what I like to watch? Nosy bitch.
月千番でござい
ちょっと待て。勝手に想像して決めつけるんじゃね
I mean, she's not wrong, but still, like, keep your mouth shut. Meon. And here I was saying
男
you're
の
a
子な
best
ら
girl.
当然です。恥ずかしくないですよ。
Thank you, Rika. I'm a developing boy. Rika not patting my head only made me feel worse.
ちょっとこの昼休みは爆睡させてくれ。いや、ほんと、マジで。
私が黙って見過ごすとお思いで。
邪魔したら怒る。すごい怒る。はぁ、はぁ。
This was just dreadful, just so sleepy. I slumped my head onto the desk and drifted off into an afternoon nap. Seeing that Sadako had responded, but I pretended not to hear.
さとこちゃんやめなよ。ケイチくん寝ちゃった。寝顔かいい。後でお持ち帰りしていいから。そっとしときな。向こうへ移動しましょうです。ケイチにうるさいと悪いですよ。
Rika-chan really is a good
先
girl.
生が来ても起こさないであげましょうです。
I take that back. The excuse that I didn't sleep much last night was because I was watching TV was a lie. I was in bed at the usual time, but because of the conversation with Oishi-san, oh yeah, that's the cop. That afternoon, I didn't get much sleep. Just spending the day like this, it's almost as if the incident with Tomitake-san didn't happen at all. It made me think, was Oishi-san just trying to deceive me? But it was probably the truth. One thing was certain, I couldn't speak to anyone about it. He wanted my assistance, but I didn't really know anything about it. If I knew I wasn't going to be of any help, I probably wouldn't have listened in the first place. It ended up with me, again, regretting learning something I didn't need to know. If I'd never learned about it, I would, without a doubt, be goofing off with the rest of them right now. I couldn't help but resent Oishi-san for this.
それっていつから？もう次の日にはいなかったって。
Doesn't Oishi mean like delicious? Well, I guess there's an extra O there. I guess it's like Uishi.
綿流しの晩に失踪したらしいよ。
Mion whispered to keep others from listening, but I could hear it clearly. On the other hand, Reina's voice was even harder to pick up, but I could still tell that she was quite upset. It couldn't be, are they talking about Tomitake-san?
けなの？わかんない。私の知る限りではね。
I would have to feign ignorance about this topic because I needed to keep it a secret. Rather than waking up and being forced to lie to join the conversation, it was much easier just to sit there and pretend I was asleep to listen in on their discussion. Wait, why did I have to pretend to be asleep while eavesdropping on my friend's conversation? The guilt stung.
で、他にもいるんでしょ？
Well, they're being sus. Like they are.
彼女がたたりにあったのか、鬼隠しにあったのかはわかんないけどね。
Onikakushi? Oh shit, they said it! He said it! Oh, by the way, this chapter called Onikakushi, I think we're in the middle of chapter 8. I think we're halfway through. I think we're a little bit more than halfway through this, like, first, chapter. I think there's, like, 7 or 8 total. I don't know if they're pretty long. I don't think I'm gonna be streaming all 7 or 8, but... To be hidden away by a demon. What a mysterious phrase. Did, however, get the feeling it meant nothing good.
何せよ、もう一人いるんだよね。だよね。お社様ならね。でも今年は出ないよ。バッチャと村長さんが話してたんだけどさ、今年は事前に警察と話がつけてあるらしいんだよ。何が起こっても騒ぎにしないで穏便に片付けるって。じゃあレナたちが知らないだけでどこかで誰かがかもね。次はレナかな。安心しなよ。レナはちゃんと帰ってきたよ。
Everything's gonna be daijoubu.
でもダメだったんでしょ。昔の話だよ。もうやめよ。 この話。
Amidst the uncomfortable mood, both of them went silent. The entirety of the conversation was still a bit unclear, but a few parts caught my attention. First of all, the term Onikakushi, to be demoned away. By the context it was used in, I would guess it's similar to being spirited away. Teehee. I suspected that that was what it meant because Tomitake-san and that woman, it really bugged me that I didn't know her name, vanished after the Watanagashi. The next thing that stuck out was when Reina said, "There's another one, right?" Mion also said, "If it's Oyashiro-sama's, yeah," responding to something. If it's Oyashiro-sama's curse, then there had to be 2 victims. Is that what she meant? Come to think of it, I remember Mion saying at the beginning that they didn't know if it was from the curse or if it was the case of Onikakushi. Seems that the curse and being demoned away are different things, and they were phenomena that were paired together. What the fuck? Okay, I'm really confused. Oh, Jesus Christ, the blood. I recalled Tomitake-san's terrible end. That wasn't something as elegant as disappearing. That horrendous end would be best described as cursed. Then the woman with him. It means she vanished because she was demoned away? What I do know is that there's normally an even number of victims of the curse proper, and the last point that bothered me was Reina. Reina was frightened. For what reason, I didn't know. However, she knew that something had made her a potential target for Oyashiro-sama's curse. If I recall correctly, Oyashiro-sama should be the guardian deity of Hanamizawa. Isn't a guardian deity supposed to defend the citizens and drive out invaders? If I recall correctly, yesterday Oishi said that originally the targets were enemies of the village, but recently there was no longer any distinction between them and regular outsiders. But if that was the case, then I would think that I'd be the more likely target, having moved here more recently than Reina. Yeah, Oishi was trying to, like, scare the shit out of me and say that I was next, basically, or imply it. From her composure, I can infer that she was grimly certain that she would be next. I should probably relay what I heard just now to Uishi-san. Informing the police of what I heard by eavesdropping on my friends while pretending to be asleep, it made me feel terrible. It raised a few questions and left me with a bad taste in my mouth. Would it be better not to seek the answers to those questions? As I continued to learn more and more, I felt like I had fallen past the point of no return. I would definitely regret this one day. I would definitely regret ever having learned of these events.
先生が来るでございますわよ。ケイキさん、起きなさいな。
In the distance, I could hear the ring of the handbell signaling the start of afternoon classes. Get! I couldn't sleep at all. I hastily opened my eyes and raised my head up. It was in that moment when I leaned against the back of my seat. The fuck? There was a thumbtack stuck in the back of my chair with tape. What the fuck? Okay, like, literally... circumstantial evidence was enough. She's literally trying to fucking kill me. Guilty without trial, capital punishment. I furiously jumped up from my seat. Yeah, capital punishment. Just honestly, I understand, like, she's a girl and she's, like, a bit younger, but a thumbtack on his chair, he's justified in, like, smacking her. I feel like you guys, like, in a human, okay, obviously two wrongs don't make a right, but in, like, a human type of way. I tripped as if my feet were tangled up, my shoelaces have been tied together. Okay. Yeah, death penalty. Capital punishment, death penalty. Dude, okay. Honestly, she completes the foursome. She's important. I like her. Sadako's awesome. But seriously, this isn't okay. It's literally a saw trap. She wants to kill me. Teacher came in right as I was about to pull off my shoes and tackle Satoko. That's right. That's right, King. Tackle her. It's okay. It's literally okay. You get the okay from me, and that's the only person you need the thumbs up from.
先生が来ましたよ、ケイキさん。着席遊ばせ。
Oh, this little... I also love anime characters with little, like, fangs like that. It's cute. Clomp, wish... Not caring one bit, I made her eat a flick to the forehead.
圭一
Crybaby.
さんがいじめた。
ほら前原くん下級生をいじめてはいけません。
If you only knew. If you only knew. God, my teacher's like sexy as fuck. And she has blue hair. It's like that's like one of my favorite. Blue hair and purple hair. For anime girls' hair, that's the best.
謝りなさい。
Objectively. It's such a nice shade. God, she's hot. I saw Sadako stick her tongue out at me, that little brat. Oh, God.
ほら前原くん
へいへい謝りますよ。さとこさんごめんなさい。
In any case, I apologized even if it was in a completely insincere tone of voice. Damn her, I'll remember this.
ケイちゃんケイちゃんその恨みは部活でね。着席着席。
Also, Mion's hair color is nice. It's unique. I sat down after Mion told me to. She'd switched to class representative mode. The boring class is finished, school is finally over for the day. Now then, what should we do for our club today? Personally, I would like to play that deduction game one more time. I was hardly able to play it last time because of Uishi-san. One sec, I gotta kill a bug. I am the ultimate slayer of bugs. I'm the king. Alright. The way the music loops is so awkward. There's like a pause that I hate. Raiden and I weren't even able to test our strategy.
そうだね。今日こそ圭一くんと二人で大勝利だよね。でもどうでしょうね。同じゲームを続けて2日やった試しはありませんし。 ミーにお願いしてみたらどうでしょうです。
Oops. Mian looked over her shoulder as we made eye contact. She slowly tapped her palm with her fist as her face suddenly lit up.
いっけね、今日おじさんの手伝いの日だ。悪いみんな、今日なし。
おじさんの手伝い？柄にもなく高校なやつだな。
Maybe she's hiding a body.
悪い悪い、ほんとすっかり忘れてた。じゃあごめんねみんな。
I
今
mean,
日はおじさんこれで帰るわ。
she is the only one to like straight up like have a gun. Mian left us with that and rushed off to exit after snatching up her bag.
みーちゃんね、たまに街にあるおじさんのお店の手伝いに行くんだよ。
I thought she wasn't the type to get caught up in such bothersome stuff.
バイト代が出ると言ってましたですわ。
She said that she gets
結
paid
構なお
for
小
it.
遣いになるらしいですの。
It's quite a bit of spending money. I see. She was able to pay for that amount of games, that mountain of games with what she saved up from
し
there.
かしそれはアルバイトというんじゃないのか？校則で禁止されてないか？
家事手伝いは除くと書いてありますです。
Is that what she's calling it? So what now? Pass on the club today?
じゃあ今日はこれで解散かな
別に部長不在でもいいだろう。やろうぜ部活。
Open the club locker and begin searching for the deduction game from that ever-growing pile of
あっ
games.
たあった。昨日の推理ゲーム。ようやくコツが分かってきたところで中断しちゃったからな。
Very least, I wanted to repay Sadako for what she did during the afternoon break.
私は構いませんけど、レナさんとリカはどういたします？ケイチ君がどうしてもって言うならちょっとだけいいかな。僕はみんなが揃っての方がいいなと思いますです。
When she says it like that,
部活がないなら僕はお買い物に行きたかったのです。お醤油とかを買いに行きますですよ。あ、そうでしたわね。すっかり忘れてましたわ。ならレナも久しぶりに宝探しに行こうかな。
those hands. What's this now? Everyone was no longer in the mood for club activities. I kept on trying to push the matter. It may make them realize I had a trick up my sleeve. Ah well, I'll give up this time.
このゲーム楽しみにしていたのにな。
またの機会に叩きのめして差し上げましたよ。
A sound thrashing. Bitch.
犯人はサトコ。凶器はピストル。やはり貴様の仕業だったか。
なんですって？じゃあ
Sadako looked through the cards on the desk and stuck out 3 of them at me.
犯人はケイチ。凶器はロープで犯行現場はラウンジですわ。
ロープなんかいらねえ。このまま締め殺してやら。
いやー、ケイチさんの毛玉なー。
Phew. Well, I guess it's good that I got that out of my system.
ケイチさん、覚えてらっしゃい。いっぱいいっぱいいたぶられましたですね。かわいそかわいそです。
She cries out as she strikes me. It's ridiculous.
かいかい。
Everyone got ready to go back home. I also helped gather up the scattered cards. I suddenly paused. They were just the suspect cards, but I noticed something strange. Reina, Sadako, Rika, Keiichi, Mion. Satoshi? Satoshi? Not all the cards were made by us, or at least every card besides this one had the name of a club member. Does this mean that this Satoshi fellow is a member? Was there someone in this class named Satoshi? I couldn't find anyone named Satoshi on the class roster stuck up on the wall.
ケイチ君、早く片付けよ
Being rushed by Reina, I finished up quickly. Sadako and Rika-chan had already headed merrily for their lockers, so we were the only ones left in the classroom. Right now, Reina had already gotten her bag and was ready to
Reina.
leave.
やっぱりこのクラスからも転校で出て行っちゃった生徒って結構いるんだろ
Holy shit, I'm really gonna confront her? I tried asking Reina in a bit of a roundabout way. Reina made a troubled face and then answered.
うん。ひなみ沢って田舎でしょ？転校していっちゃう人も時々いるよ。
じゃあこのサトシってやつも転校してったのか？
ごめん。よく知らないの。
There's a bit of a pause, but the answer was pretty much immediate.
その、意地悪で言ってるんじゃないの。
Dude, what the fuck is going on?
ちょうど去年、レナが転校してきてから入れ替わりだったかな。だからあんまりお話ししたことないの。ごめんね。
I'm not sure, sorry. Her answer was a lot like when she refused to tell me about the murder at the dam. I was saddened by her denial and felt a little bit of anger. I'm their friend, aren't I? Friends don't keep secrets from their friends, do they? Though I do appreciate that they kept that unsettling curse thing from me. But if everyone is worried about it, I'd rather be worried with them. That's what it means to be friends, right? For a moment, I wondered just what kind of face I was making just then, with these mixed feelings of sadness and annoyance.
ケイチくん、怖い顔してる。なんでだろう、なんでだろう。
It's probably exactly the kind of face Reina said it was. It appeared my grim expression had frightened her.
ごめん。今日の部活楽しみにしてたからさ。残念だっただけだよ。
I rustled Reina's
帰ろう
hair.
ぜ。
Dragging that awkward mood with us, we headed home. I wonder why. Why have I been getting this dumb feeling lately? Maybe because a fucking cop came to you and said that, like, two of your fucking middle school friends are, like, suspects for fucking murder, where a guy got his fucking throat clawed out. Or no, he clawed his own throat out. I didn't know anything. I had nothing to worry about. I was just enjoying my everyday life. My long, outstretched shadow gave no answer to my naive inquiry.
ケイチくん、疲れてるのかな？かな？
Reina timidly questioned the reason behind my mood. I'm sure my expression made the situation even more
そう
unsettling.
か？
うん。今朝からケイチくん、なんだか元気ないよ。風邪かな？
Physically, I was pretty sure I was in perfect health. It may not seem like it, but I've had perfect attendance since elementary school. Reina continued on since I didn't give her an answer.
きっとケイチくん、引っ越しの疲れが今になってきたんだよ。前に住んでたところとは全然違うところだもん。いろいろ慣れたり覚えたり、疲れて当然だよ。
そうなのかな？
うん。絶対にそうだよ。レナも最初そうだったから。わかるんだよ。だよ。
I wondered if Reina also experienced a slight bit of alienation last year that I was feeling right now. Thinking so, I felt that she was the only one who could understand how I
レナが
felt.
ひなみ沢に転校してきた時の話が聞きたいな。どんなだった？
Feeling I had been drawn into the conversation, her face suddenly brightened.
ケイチくんと同じだよ。人の名前も村の中も全然わかんなかった。みーちゃんとかが親切にしてくれたから全然寂しくなかったけど、やっぱり心細かったよ。
Reina told me all the details of when she had moved here, all of her first acquaintances and surprises, worries and good
じゃあ
times.
レナもサトコにやられたのかよ。
うん。椅子に座ろうとしたら画鋲が置いてあったの。
She's literally
どっさり。
evil.
そしたらそれを 懐かしいな。
ミオンの部活にはいつ頃誘われたんだ？
Generational death. That was. Babe, that. Holy shit. It is the best game ever. Okay, maybe not. It's gonna be my new favorite multiplayer game. I never really play like multiple at once, but it's gonna be just like my new one that I play a ton. And it's in alpha. It's only gonna get better. That's fucking crazy. Holy shit. I'm an amazing shot caller. I'm him. I was taking control.
早速初日にか？
ううん。最初は部活なんてなかったんだよ。途中からできたの。放課後にみんなで残ってゲーム大会をやろうって言い出して。
そういえば、ミオン初代部長とか言ってたっけな。
I need to play Pocket better though. Pocket's my favorite.
納得。
Even though I've played Mo and Krill the most. Mo and Skill, excuse me.
内緒だけどね、みーちゃん最初は弱かったんだよ。全然勝てなかった。
ミオンが？ちょっと想像つかないぞ。
自分で言い出した罰ゲーム、ほとんど自分でやってたんだよ。本当に内緒だからね。
Can't believe Mion was like that. So she gradually transformed into a monster or used any means necessary to win during that time. Mion is at her best when she's fighting dirty.
みーちゃん以外ともちょっとずつお友達になれて。でも、ケイチくんが引っ越してきてからかな。ようやくここに馴染めたって自覚したのは。
Guess Reina had also been left in the dark about Oyashiro-sama when she had just moved here. I played so much though in a exactly 24-hour time frame that I gotta take the equal amount off. I can't play any tomorrow so that I don't lose my mind. The day after tomorrow, I'm back in there. I'm spamming Pocket and Mo as much as I can. Guess when they finally told me about Oyashiro-sama, I'd be considered one of them. I wonder if the holiday event, ends tomorrow. I don't know how long the winter event goes on for. I didn't get any ornament. I got 3 ornaments.
俺はいつになったら仲間だと認めてもらえるんだろうな。
なんて言ったの？
いや、ごめん。独り言。
ケイチくん変なの。
Reina was poking fun and laughing at me. I couldn't help but laugh as well, but I suddenly stopped. Then after making up my mind, I spoke.
なあ、レナ。みんなは俺に嘘や隠し事なんかしてないよな。
I'm uncomfy.
してないよ、全然。
嘘だろ。
Reina suddenly stopped. Her expression was cold and intense.
どういう意味だろう。ケイチくん。
Her tone was still the same cheery and lighthearted one as
知ってるよ
before.
な。
Dude, I'm getting real. I'm oh man, Keiichi's getting real. Honestly, respect.
俺に隠し事を。
I'm fed up with the bullshit. After understanding what I meant, her expression grew even more intense. Seeing that face, I regretted saying something so rash. But she came back at me in a way I didn't expect.
じゃあさ、ケイチくん。
Oh my god, her eyes are empty.
ケイチくんこそ、レナたちに嘘や隠し事をしてないかな。
Yeah, they fucking killed that photographer guy. It's GG. No re. There's no question. Her tone didn't change, but it was the first time I'd seen this expression from Reina. With how her gaze pierced through me, I couldn't believe this was the same Reina.
してないかな。 嘘や隠し事してないかな。
You are secrets. She didn't actually say that part, but she looked as if she did. The incident with Tomoitake-san and how I felt alienated from the group. Even without having to think about it, there were things I knew that I felt guilty about. Yo, music. Hell yeah, I love Sawako. Yo, Blasto. Oh no! Sup? How's it going? I was keeping it a secret just the same way they didn't tell me about Oyashiro-sama. Then, aren't we
知っ
even?
てないよ。嘘も隠し事も。
嘘だよ。
Her answer was instant and it shook me. I'm shooketh. Reina stared as if burrowing through me, watching me like a hawk.
どうして嘘だって。
圭一くん、昨日の部活の時、先生に呼ばれて職員室に行ってたって言ったよね。レナは知ってるよ。圭一くんは職員室になんか行かなかった。
I swallowed hard. It clearly wasn't a bluff. She knew what
先生はお
happened.
客さんが来たって言ったんだよね。
Jesus Christ.
昇降口ではお話ししてなかった。校門のところの車の中で話をしてたよね。知らないおじさんと。
Okay, well, she had to have been watching because there's no way that the teacher would have told her those details. Fucking Reina knew everything. She's a creep. She knew that I was called out by Uishi-san and that I heard about the incident with Tomoitake-san as well. Did she know all of it?
誰？あのおじさん。
This is where it's totally justified for me to be like, why don't you mind your fucking business?
知らない人だよ。
But because I'm...
知らない人がなんで圭一くんに用があるの？
Because I'm an anime protagonist, I have to be like, you got it all wrong. It's not like that. Like, literally tell this bitch to fuck off.
俺が知りたいよ。
じゃあ何の話をしていたの？
みんなとは関係のない話だよ。
It was a lie.
嘘だ！
Jesus! That literally peaked. I don't think I have like a limiter for the game, just in case. Yeah, am I? Holy shit. Reina's scream echoed through the trees. That peaked, sending frightened birds into the air. I couldn't exhale the deep breath I had just taken. No, it was like I wasn't allowed to exhale. It was here I first realized. The person in front of me, she wasn't Reina Ryugu. Then who was it that was standing before me now? Who had assumed Reina Ryugu's appearance? I had held my breath for so long I could feel myself suffocating.
ね？
Those two art styles are like so different. Then she made a facial expression that Reina normally might have made. It didn't matter that it was Reina's usual smile. It chilled me to the bone. She drew closer to me. Oh my god, her eyes are empty again. I felt her breath against my face. It wasn't the least bit exciting. Whoever this was with Reina's face was going to chew my nose right off. I cowered as I imagined that. Then she smirked as if she was able to see
圭
right
一
through
くんに
me.
内緒や隠し事があるように、レナたちにだってあるんだよ。
It was Reina's usual smile, but her eyes were still like that of a hawk's. Bringing her face close enough to mine to almost bump into my nose, she kindly persuaded me. I couldn't nod or shake my head. This person standing in front of me, this person who looked like Reina, frightened me to my core. I was terrified knowing that she could hear the sound of me swallowing nervously. After what felt like an eternity, after a long empty silence, she finally spoke.
行こう。だいぶ涼しくなってきたよ。
Okay, her eyes are back to normal. It's Reina again. Smiling at me once more, she started walking as if nothing at all had happened. When I was released from her gaze, my legs gave out from under me and I slumped onto the ground. I wasn't able to lift a finger until Reina was out of sight.
誰だったんだよ。
I felt cold, my body was drenched in sweat. I was finally able to form a coherent thought and ask myself once again, who was that person who looked like Reina Ryugu? Ugu. Ooh woo, oh whoa. Damn. No misfortune. I was out of it and couldn't bring myself to do anything until dinner except stare blankly into space. Was I terrified from Reina going off on me? No, that's not right. That was someone else who only looked like Reina. And who could it have been? It was a dreadful feeling. Knowing that that was someone else, not Reina, so tomorrow I shouldn't have a problem talking to Reina like I usually do. That thought was strangely comforting. I concluded that I should just calm down and clear my head, though those thoughts continued swirling around my mind. Finally, I returned to my senses as I heard my mother calling out to me from the bottom of the stairs.
本屋さんから電話よ。
Bookstore? Can't think of why they'd be calling me. I went downstairs and picked up the receiver anyway.
夜分遅くに申し訳ありません。
Is this that fucking cop?
私、沖宮書房の大石と申します。
What?
大石さん？大石さんじゃないですか。
ごめんなさいね。ご両親が出られたので、本屋さんということにしておきました。警察ですって名乗ると、いろいろ気分を害されるでしょうしね。
Ushi-san was, in his own way, rather courteous. Even so, I didn't want my parents hearing me talk to the police. I brought the cordless phone with me as I dashed up back to my room on the second floor.
夜分遅くにすみませんですね。実は昨日渡した電話番号のメモ、あれ古い番号だったんです。本当に申し訳ない。これから申し上げる番号を控えておいてもらえますか。
あ、はい。どうぞ。
Gave me the number for his direct line as I wrote it down. Thought that was the end of it, but he began making pointless small talk and it was pretty hard to hang up.
さて、どうでしょう、前原さん。何か変わったことはありましたか？
Yeah, one of my friends tried to maim me in a saw trap with a thumbtack on the back of my chair, and the other friend is like possessed by a fucking demon. This was the real reason. He really beat around the bush there. His adult conversational skills left me
大石さん
slack-jawed.
はここの地元の方ですか？
ええ、そうです。生まれも育ちも沖宮ですよ。
If he's from around here,
あ
you
の
might know.
大石さん、鬼隠しって何のことか知ってますか？
それはですね、人が鬼にさらわれ、忽然といなくなってしまうことなんです。この辺り独特の言い回しですね。世間様で言う神隠しと同じ意味です。
Spirited away. Whereas my friends would say they didn't know when I asked, this older man gave me a direct answer. It made me a bit happy that he answered me directly without trying to hide anything.
南沢は、前原さんにこんなこと言っていいんでしょうか。
もったいぶらないでくださいよ。大石さんが言わないなら俺も何も言いませんよ。
ああ、いやいや、そういう意味じゃないんですよ。ただその気を悪くされないかと思いましてね。実はですね、ひなみ沢はその昔、鬼の住む里って呼ばれて恐れられていたんですよ。
鬼？鬼って地獄にいる金棒を持ったあの？
というよりは人食い鬼ですな。
Oh, the music is getting all weird.
里に降りてきて人をさらって食い散らかしてしまう。なんて怖い昔話があるんですよ。
Gobbling, as I gobble on pizza right now. Demon snatching up people is what this Onikakushi really means.
たたりと鬼隠しは一緒に起こるって言ってましたけど、どういうことですか？
I already knew about the mysterious deaths happening 5 years in a row. But I didn't know there were people disappearing for those same 5
たた
years.
りと鬼隠しが必ず一緒に？それは初めて聞きました。そうなんですか、前原さん。
I'm genuinely so confused. So there's extra people disappearing?
それは俺が聞きたいですよ。レナとミオンが話してたんです。お社様のたたりなら必ずたたりと鬼隠しが起こるって。
Wushi began hemming and hawing on the other end of the receiver. Maybe something about that came to mind?
前原さん、最初の事件ご存知ですよね。バラバラ殺人。
ええ、6人の犯人のうち1人はまだ逃走中なんですよね。
例えばそれ、逃走中じゃなく鬼隠しにあったんじゃないでしょうかね。
Dun dun dun. Huh? It was an outrageous hypothesis from Uishi-san. The incident 4 years ago was a particularly ghastly one. The police already knew the perpetrators, so they posted tons of wanted posters with his face on them. They staked out various locations and investigated every possible escape route he had. But after 4 years, there wasn't even a hint of where he might be. Unless the police were completely incompetent. Even if it was an outrageous hypothesis, I couldn't simply laugh it
じゃあその
off.
翌年の事故はどうです？誘致派の男と妻が一緒に事故死したんですよね。
実はですね、正式には事故死したのは夫だけなんです。妻は死体が上がりませんでしたから。現行法では死体が発見されない限り行方不明扱いなんですよ。
The time of the incident, with the river below the cliff being muddy rapids, the police divers had searched every branch off the main stream of the river for dozens of miles, but in the end they weren't able to find her body.
でも死体が見つからないだけで亡くなったんですよね。鬼隠しとは違うんじゃないですか？
死体が出ない以上亡くなったとは言えません。法律で定めた年月が過ぎるまで生存扱いなんです。
3年目はどうなんですか？神主は病死、妻は自殺ですよ。
前原さん、実はね、これも全く同じなんですよ。
The wife had supposedly thrown herself into the bottomless swamp deep in the forest around Hinamizawa, meaning it's all circumstantial evidence. They simply found her suicide note in front of the swamp. A diver was able to recover a few of her articles, but they weren't able to find a body. The investigative headquarters believed that she had faked her death and was still alive
これら
somewhere.
を鬼隠しと呼んでいいかちょっとわかりませんがね。前原さんの言う通り、確かに毎年一人行方不明になっています。
今年の事件では富武さんの連れの女の人が行方不明。じゃあ去年の主婦の撲殺事件はどうです？誰か行方不明になりましたか？確か犯人は逮捕されたんですよね。
ええ、逮捕されてます。以前に逮捕歴もあるやつでしてね、別件で取り調べ中に犯行を自供してます。ですがですね、犯人逮捕からしばらくして被害者宅の子供が行方不明になったんです。
What the fuck?
犯罪に巻き込まれたのかどうなのか、現在も捜査してます。
だって犯人は捕まったんですよね。それともその仲間が？
さあ、多分単独犯だと思います。もっとも今では確かめようもないんですよ。実はその男、取り調べ中に拘置所内でお亡くなりになっちゃいまして。
He swallowed a spork and choked it? Okay. Okay, literally, be so serious. I can't take that seriously, I'm sorry. It's not known whether it was an accident or suicide. A spork.
つまり過去5年間必ず死者と行方不明者が1人ずつ出ているわけなんですよね。
This is kind of ringing a bell from the anime. Lovely normal village, normal town.
ええ、私も驚いていますよ。
Ah, the countryside. Whatever happened to old family values in the countryside? Like one person getting murdered and one person disappearing each fucking year.
こんな共通項には気づきませんでした。
Couldn't believe that this could help lead to the closing of those incidents. It was just something they had in
例えば
common.
鬼隠しにあって失踪した人には何か共通点があるとか。
Wushi-san mumbled as he seemed to be thinking about it. So I summarized the events.
1年目はダムの作業員、2年目は誘致派の男の妻、3年目は神主の妻、4年目は被害者宅の子供で、5年目は交際相手かな。特につながりはなさそうだし。
1年目はともかく妻とか交際相手とかそういう人が目立ちますな。
Does seem like there are a lot, then that means the fourth year's victim's child was different. Would have really stood out if it were all married couples, except it's not just married couples, but parents and children as well. Come to think of it, I believe Tomitake-san also told me the younger brother is alive and has moved, if I recall
4年目
correctly.
に行方不明になった子供ってどんなだったんですか？
おとなしい感じの方だったらしいです。年はあなたの一つ上です。名前は北条聡さん。
Oh my god. Oh god, my stomach just like it actually dropped. What the fuck?
え？サトシ？
Oh god. I don't feel good. I don't feel so good. Didn't they tell me Sachi transferred out
あな
last
たの
year?
学校に去年まで通っていました。話を聞いていませんか？
Come to think of it, when I transferred in, I believe they said my seat belonged to a recent transfer student. Then where I sat once belonged to the one who was demoned away. It was his seat. I recalled the cold sensation that came from that desk. It made my hair stand on end. This string of mysterious deaths, no Oyashiro-sama's curse, I now knew how it connected to me. That chilling sensation, it was the feeling of Oyashiro-sama caressing the back of my neck.
お社様のたたりか。
Could Oyashiro-sama's curse really exist? In all honesty, I was beginning to believe it, and I was scared. That was why I wanted to say it was a plot crafted by man and not the work of a curse. The more I dug into it, the less likely that seemed. No, the more I dug, the more mysterious it became. If I kept digging, eventually, I'd reach the point where I'd learned something I really shouldn't know. To either be none the wiser or to seek an answer I may regret. Which one would I be happier with? Maybe it'll be me next time. My execution could only be delayed for 1 year. That was when I remembered. Reina. Reina said she may be the next victim of the
竜
curse.
宮レナさんがですか？去年転校されてきた前原さんのクラスメートですよね。女の子には刺激の強い事件ばかりです。怖がるのも無理ないんじゃないでしょうかね。
She said it might be her next. She said it in a way that made me think she had a concrete reason behind it.
もっと確信じみたものだったように思います。なんていうのか、その。
Her sudden change in demeanor, that someone who looked like Reina but wasn't Reina, that might be unrelated. All the strange things that I felt from Reina today came back to
そう
me.
ですか。ではこちらでも少し調べてみます。前原さんも少し竜宮さんの様子に注意してあげてください。
それはレナを見張れってことですか？
そんな意味ではありませんよ、前原さん。お友達が次の被害者にならないよう少し気にしてあげてほしいということです。
At that moment, just as my mouth was agape because I was so impressed with his mature, clever way with words. A sudden knock at the door sent my heart racing. In an instant, I had pointlessly covered up the end of the receiver.
ケイチ、ちょっとここを開けてくれ。
The other side of the door, I heard my father's oddly upbeat voice. What could it be? It's so
すみま
late.
せん、親父が来ました。今夜はこれくらいでいいですか？
ええ、夜分遅くに 本当に申し訳ありませんでしたね。何か分かりましたら教えてください。こちらも進展がありましたらご報告しますよ。では失礼します。
圭一、早く開けてくれ。父さん、両手が塞がってるんだ。
What is Dad doing? I stayed in the same position while on the phone the whole time, so my joints were aching. When I opened the door, I saw my father was standing there with a tray. On that tray, cookies and 2 cups of black tea. Fairly fancy spread for our household. There was even sugar and lemon slices on the side. Everything you could ask for. This is quite the show of hospitality.
父さん、それ何のつもりだよ。
もうはぐらかすなよ、圭一。入るぞ。
Dad was in high spirits and had a smirk on his face, but for my entire life I've never seen him act this hospitable. What had gotten into him?
で、何の話をしてたんだ？
I jumped. It's not something I had to keep from my father, but how could I explain to him I was talking to a detective? I'm assuming he was this late at night.
別に何も。友達だよ。
電話の話じゃなくて来てたんだろう、今。
Huh?
レナちゃんが。
What?
来てないよ。
もうごまかさなくたっていいぞ。
I don't
さっきレナ
understand.
ちゃんが遊びに来てたじゃないか。だいぶ話し込んでるみたいだったからお茶でもって思ったらすれ違いだったんだよ。
Excuse me? I had no idea what Dad was talking about. I was literally just on the phone with a detective. How could she have, was she like outside my door? But a cold sweat dripped down my back.
どのくらい話し込んでたかな。
レナちゃんが2階に上がったのが半くらいだったから小1時間くらいかな。
2階に上がったの、父さん見たの？
ああ、見たよ。
Dude, this is fucking
圭一の部屋は階段を上がって奥の扉だよって声もかけた。
Rana came to my house about an hour ago. Dad met her at the door and called out to me on the 2nd floor. I probably didn't hear him because I was so focused on my conversation with Uishi-san. I didn't reply, but he knew I was in my room, so he had her come inside. Then told her my room was on the 2nd floor. She thanked my dad and went upstairs. Then about an hour passed. She passed by my dad just as he was bringing up tea and left. She came upstairs and about an hour passed. Then passed by my dad and returned home. Then after she came upstairs and until she left, where was Reina? There's only a short hallway between my room and the stairs, meaning Reina had, for about an hour, in the hall. No, she couldn't have been standing in front of my door all that time. The door to my room wasn't particularly thick. You could easily hear everything being said inside. All of the unsettling and unguarded things I spoke to Uishi-san about began rushing through my
お
head.
父さん、あまりからかっちゃダメよ。それよりアトリエを片付けて。またこぼすわよ。
Followed my dad out of the room with my eyes. I looked down the floor around the doorway where Reina might have stood all that time. Just now, as I was talking to Uishi-san, with my back turned, Reina was standing a mere 6 feet away the whole time. All that time in this dimly lit doorway? What did she see? What did she hear? For what reason? As the steam from the 2 teacups ominously wafted and twisted, the aroma of black tea filled my room. Steam achievement lies. Lie to Reina. Notice from the police chief. July 1st, 1982. To Departments 1 through 12. Prefectural Police Headquarters. Director General. To the Chief Constable and all facility managers. Regarding cases situated in the Hinamizawa Village. Cases in Shishibone City, Hinamizawa Village have been reported by certain sections of mass media. It has drawn global attention, which is causing serious repercussions for the local residents. This has become a very serious situation. To protect the livelihood and prosperity of the residents, the following notice has been issued. Designate the following criminal investigations as classified. Okinomiya Station 1982 case number. Hinamizawa Village housewife murder. Okinomiya Station 1982 case number. Hinamizawa Village student disappearance. Non-disclosure of information. Okinomiya Station 1979 case number. Hinamizawa Village site foreman murder. Okay, let's see. That was like the earliest one maybe. Shira Station 1980 Shirakawa Natural Park falling incident. What? Okinomiya Station 1981 case number. Maybe that isn't related. Hinamizawa Village Shinto priest wife disappearance. Requesting self-restraint from each organization concerning the release of sensitive information. Please see attached reference materials 1, 2, and 3. Management. XX Prefecture Police Headquarters. Internal line. Police Affairs Department. On to Chapter 9. Weariness and a headache. Actually, this is a good spot for me to, like, take a 5-minute break to eat. BRB. Yeah, I watched the original anime. I don't know if I've seen any of the OVAs. But I'm really enjoying this. I'm enjoying the first chapter even, which is apparently, like, yeah, slower. It's gotta ramp up. It's an interesting anime. I think, like, a newer one came out, but and I haven't seen the newer one, if there is one. But I like the original. Yeah, I assume, like, the anime just covers, like, considering how long this first chapter is, I'm guessing, I think the anime, the original, was, like, the usual for anime, like, 12 to 24 episodes, and must cover just, like, Chapter 1 Onikakushi, then Watanagashi, and maybe a couple after, and there's, like, at least 8 of these overall. The new one had its potential, then was so disappointing. Aw, really? That fucking sucks. Why was it disappointing? Was it just like a retread of everything from the first with like better animation, or did it like veer off from the visual novel too much? lot of backstabbing of characters, as in characters that usually stood down on who they were all of a sudden these uncalled for switch-ups was really dumb. Yeah, that sounds annoying as fuck. It was sort of a sequel? Oh, so kind of like doing its own thing, maybe? Veering off a bit. That's no good. It's okay to make like tweaks, but that's a bit much. Okay, I'm done eating. Alrighty. Let's see, where were we? Weariness and a headache. Not a very nice way to start the day.
どうしたの？ケイチ、今朝は顔色悪いわよ。昨べは何時に寝たの？
It seemed that my mom had noticed my sullen state. Yesterday, I kept on waking up in the middle of the night. Without a doubt, I felt a presence. I felt the presence of someone standing in front of my door. I told myself repeatedly that it was my imagination and forced myself to try and sleep, except, not being able to stand it, I gathered up my courage and opened the door. Of course there wasn't anyone there. I think I did this 3 times throughout the night. Maybe I just didn't remember doing it any more than that. Even though I was able to get to the breakfast table without incident, I still didn't feel at ease.
風邪かもしれない。なんだか食欲ないんだ。
あら、ちょっと熱あるんじゃない？どうする？学校行ける？
Technically, I did go to a school, but it was mostly self-study. Wouldn't matter much if I missed a day, would it? Could have been that I hadn't been feeling well the last few days because I really did have a cold. If I took some medicine and got a good day of rest, I might be able to greet everyone with a smile tomorrow. Startled, I looked back and forth between the entrance and the clock. It was 10 minutes later than when I usually met up with Reina. Oh shit, Octave. Bye-bye. Just for 10 minutes. It was
レナ
Reina.
ちゃん迎えに来ちゃったけど、どうする？お休みする？
Reina was a good girl. She might be somewhat quirky, but she was certainly cute. The lunches she made were delicious and she always looked out for me. Why should I be so scared of something like that? It wasn't Reina's fault. It was probably mine. It had to have been my cold. It just had to
休
be.
む。ごめん。
じゃあ、母さんが断ってきてあげるわね。
Mom headed off to the door. I'd have to pass by the entrance to get back to my room. I didn't have the nerve to meet with Reina, so I wrapped myself in a blanket on the sofa and closed my eyes. I was so sleep deprived, I quickly fell into a deep slumber. I only intended to lie down for a bit, but it was almost noon when I woke up. I called out to my parents, but they didn't seem to be around. On the table, I found lunch prepared and a note. Mom and Dad had apparently driven off to somewhere far away. It likely had to do with Dad's work. This happened every so often, so it wasn't that unusual. It would be back for dinner, but might be a bit late. On the note it said, "The insurance card is in the cabinet. Take it and go to the hospital." There was also a well-drawn map to the hospital. That's right. I hadn't been there before, so I didn't know exactly where it was. I had a light lunch, although it really was just leftovers from the morning, and just in case, went to the hospital. Normally I'd never be here, in the middle of a weekday. Just walking around like this had me feeling guilty. It was an odd feeling. Following my mom's map, I took the road I usually never used. After walking for a bit, the hospital sign came into view. Airi Clinic, Eritingwambi Airi, was written rather stylishly on the sign. The clinic wasn't very big, but based on the scale of the rest of Hinamizawa, it was far too grand. There was a parking lot and even a reserved spot for buses. They must be making a mint. I spaced out in the air-conditioned waiting room until it was my turn to be seen.
前原さん、診察室へどうぞ。
After half-heartedly answering all the chatty doctor's questions, he responded with the old, "It's probably a cold." They gave me a shot and 3 days' worth of medicine. Thought it was a little overboard, but if it would clear away the gloomy feeling I'd been having lately, then it was worth it. I settled the bill and took a quick trip to the washroom. As I was leaving, I overheard a conversation between some elderly people who seemed to be regulars at the clinic. Of course, I had no intention of eavesdropping. If it just wasn't for that word.
やっぱりOnikakushiかいね。
どうかね。まだまだ若い子だけや。駆け落ちかもしられへん。どこの誰とよ。季節のたびに東京もんが来ちょったろ。でっけえカメラ持った若者が。あれと仲が良きゃったって話。知られへんの？
They talking about Tomitake-san? I could feel my ears perking
そ
up.
ら知らんけど。でも普通駆け落ちっても仁義あるだろう。書き置きとか辞表とか書かんかいね。
すったらん書かんから駆け落ち言うんね。
Yeah, that's what elope means. Like, you do it, like, spur of the moment. Like,
わきゃ看護師さんの顔見られんようなるわ。寂しいね。
高野さんはしっかり者よ。どこへ行ってもやっていけろん。
her name was Takano? That woman with Tomitake-san, and she worked at this clinic? Oyashiro-sama's shadow was following me everywhere I went. I started listening more closely, but they began talking about fishing, and it didn't seem like they were going to revisit the topic. I gave up and left. Thus, even though I was separated from the daily monotony of school, I wasn't able to escape from Oyashiro-sama's shadow. But of course, Oyashiro-sama was the guardian deity of this place, of Hinamizawa. As long as I was in Hinamizawa, I wouldn't be able to escape. Maybe it was because I was walking outside, but my appetite had suddenly returned. I might as well buy a snack with the change from the examination fee on the way home. Contemplating that, I turned onto a familiar street. At that moment, I heard a car horn abruptly honk behind me. Was I really walking so far into the middle of the road where I'd be in a car's way? I moved farther off to the side, but the horn was still honking at me. I turned around, peeved.
前原さん、こんにちは。
Oh, it's the cop. It's Uishi-san. He stepped out of his car, AC in full blast, and waved at me. I'm being stalked
今日はどうしたんです？
by several people.
学校はお休みですか？
ちょっと体調悪かったんで、今日は休みました。お昼を買って帰ろうとしてたところです。
そりゃよかった。実は私、お昼に行こうとしてたんですよ。ああ、お体に触るようでしたら構いませんよ。
I was just going to lie down after going home anyway. I didn't really have a
地元の
cold.
食堂だと嫌でしょう。町まで行きましょう。ちょっと走りますがよろしいですかな？私、おいしいお店知ってるんですよ。
Finally begun to understand Uishi-san's roundabout way of saying things. He probably wanted to talk to me about stuff that would be difficult to discuss while in Hinamizawa. Even with Uishi-san riding in his frigid car, it was almost as if the bright sunlight outside was a
昨夜
lie.
は遅くまですみませんでしたね。ご家族に怒られませんでしたか？
いえ。
Recalled Reina, who had been listening to the phone conversation all that time, separated from me by just the door. Even now, in the brightness of the sunlight, the thoughts still creep me out. With a big bump that jolted the car, the road connecting to the city changed from dirt to pavement. My head swiveled back with a sudden realization. That's right. This was where Tomitake-san
富武さ
died.
んの捜査は暗礁に乗り上げています。
Uishi-san spoke while peering at me from the corner of
自
his
分
eye.
の爪で喉をかき破るという異常さから幻覚作用のある何らかの薬物によるものだと信じて、こういう症状、それも急激に引き起こす薬物はなかなかないらしいんです。もちろん検視解剖もそれを念頭に置いて十分に行ったのですが、手がかりはやはりありませんでした。
漫画なんかによくあるじゃないですか。体内に取り込まれると分解したりして証拠が何も残らないなんて、そんな薬。
That thing you see in manga all the time.
ありますよ。
How do you know that the detective reads
演
manga,
歌
huh?
作詞何でしたっけ？
What the fuck? How do you even say that?
まあ、結構あります。でもですね、富武さんのような症状を引き起こす薬物には。
じゃあ警察は富武さんはたたりで死んだってそう言うんですか？
Couldn't help but feel that the police were worthless. I mean, that's reality. I just wanted the idea of a curse to be dissociated from Tomitake-san's mysterious death.
悔しいですが、今のところは。ですが、死因はともかく、死ぬ前に何人かの人間に囲まれて暴行を受けたことだけは間違いありません。たたりでなく、人間が事件に関わっているのは疑いようがありませんよ。
That made me a bit relieved. We passed in front of the rather desolate but still busier than Hinamizawa train station. A cab includes Higurashi cops. The car pulled into a restaurant parking lot and I followed Uishi-san into the shop. It's pretty crowded, but there were only adults at this hour. Of course, there wouldn't be children in here in the middle of a
2名で
weekday.
す。タバコは、我慢します。
こちらへどうぞ。ご注文がお決まりになりましたらお呼びください。
We were led by a peculiarly dressed waitress to our table. I sat with Uishi-san in the booth.
どうです？このお店のウェイトレスさんの格好、可愛らしいと思いません？
This fucking guy.
まあどうでしょうね。
I'm a good boy.
このお店ね、
I'm not thinking that way.
大人気なんですよ。お料理よりもウェイトレスさんがね。
ああ、大石さん目がやらしいですよ。
Ew.
そうですか？
Regardless of how the waitresses looked, the food was decent enough. Finishing our meals while talking about some inane topic, Ushi-san's after-meal cup of coffee arrived at the
昨日
table.
ひなみ沢の昔話が出ましたよね。
ええ、人食い鬼の里だって言われてたって話でしたっけ？
私もあんまり詳しい方じゃないので、うちのおばあ様に今朝ちょっと聞いてみたんです。
Ushi-san took out the notepad that was stuffed into his breast
何
pocket.
でもですね、大昔はひなみ沢は鬼ヶ淵って呼ばれてたんだそうです。
Damn.
鬼ヶ淵。すごい名前ですね。
今でもその名前残ってるんですよ。神主の妻が受水自殺した沼の名前は今でも鬼ヶ淵というんです。沼の底の底は鬼たちの住む国とつながってると言われてたんだそうです。
course, nobody had told me anything about such an ominous swamp.
でですね、鬼ヶ淵は恐れられていたと同時に崇められてもいたんだそうです。
A respect born of fear. I guess you could say it was kind of a deification, a village of inhuman
鬼たち
creatures.
はある種の仙人でもあったらしいんですよ。例えば不治の病にかかった村人を鬼ヶ淵に運んで治してもらったりとかしたんだそうです。
Even if we are calling them demons, Tengu, long-nosed goblins, or Senin would be a more apt
鬼っ
description.
て言ってもそんなに悪い人たちじゃないみたいですね。
でもそこはやっぱり人食い鬼らしいんです。ばあ様に聞いた昔話ではですね、息子を治療してもらった代償として連れてきた母親を食わせろとこうなるらしいんですよ。
息子を治療してもらった対価が自分ですか？それは怖いな。
もちろん母親は息子を連れて逃げます。これをですね、鬼ヶ淵に住む村人鬼たちがですね、全員で追いかけて取り囲んで捕まえたんだそうです。
The entire village, apparently. It's quite a frightening thing to imagine. Why did that transition to the next
結局
thing? Like,
母親も息子も捕まって食べられちゃったんだそうです。おしまい。
その話矛盾がありますよ。当事者の2人が食べられちゃったんですから、その話が残るはずがありません。
ありゃ。昔話はこういうの多いですよね。
in contrast to the ghastly tale, Ushi-san laughed heartily while sipping his coffee.
でもですね、他の昔話にも結構あるらしいんですよ。
And the creepy
鬼
music
ヶ淵の鬼
starts.
たちが総出で獲物を捕まえに来るというのは。
I recall that Mion said all the villagers united and fought against dam construction. I saw similarities with how that part about unification
鬼
overlapped.
たちの獲物は常に一人で、しかも前もって決められているらしいんです。
That caught my attention. Ushi-san also appeared to be pondering what
ばあ
it
様
meant.
が言うにはですね、鬼の狩りの時には絶対に邪魔をしてはいけない。家に閉じこもって布団をかぶってろって言うんです。
つまりどういうことですか？
獲物の人を助けたり、かくまっ鬼の狩りを邪魔しない限り村人には危害を加えない。そういうルールなんだそうです。
Basically, don't help the victims. Pretend you didn't see the atrocities, in
ルー
other
ルを破っ
words.
たらどうなるんです？
さあ、何しろ人食い鬼ですからね。
Many parts of that tale caught my attention. Parts of the story he told me overlapped with this theory that the entire village was in on the crime. Cute chat, ayaya? Even if it wasn't the whole village, it was conceivable that the villagers were hiding under the covers and leaving them to die. When there's a group that was on the hunt, wasn't it? I didn't dare speak
じゃあ
it.
大石さんはやっぱり村ぐるみもしくは村人数人の犯行だと見てるんですね。
前原さんはどう思います？ああ、すみません。コーヒーのおかわりいいですか？
That's what I wanted to know. It seemed that we were both waiting for the other to say that last part. He waited for the waitress to finish pouring coffee before
去
speaking.
年、サトシ君が失踪した頃から私は不審に感じていたんです。
Wushi-san muttered as he watched the milk swirl around in his
それで
coffee.
サトシさんのお友達、つまり前原さんのお友達グループの皆さんをちょっぴりだけ、本当にちょっぴりだけですよ、調べさせてもらったんです。
If Wushi-san had said this to me before, I would have gotten angry at him for calling my friends into question, but as I was now, I
とても
couldn't.
つまらない話になります。前原さんがつまらないと感じたらいつでもおっしゃってください。終わりにしますので。
Wushi-san was wearing the most serious expression that I'd ever seen from him. It was as if he was telling me to prepare myself and listen. There were quite a few things I regretted hearing from Uishi-san, but none of them were as threatening as this. A little voice inside me was screaming like an alarm. Stop, Keiichi. This was probably the last one. I took a deep breath and silenced that voice. I would not run from the truth. That was all I could utter. Uishi-san stared into my eyes silently for a few moments. After he was certain I was ready, he began.
1年目の事件の被害者は現場の監督さんだったんですが、事件の数週間前に園崎美音さんと取っ組み合いをしてるんですよ。
My favorite Mion.
何度か。
Multiple? Okay. Jesus Christ. They had beef. They had major beef. Uishi-san had said before that Mion had defied the damn project vehemently. Well, it wasn't hard to imagine how she'd be if she got worked
2年目
up.
の事件で誘致派の夫婦が事故に遭いましたよね。現場にはお嬢さんも一緒にいたんです。それが北条聡子さんなんです。
What? Mion, how?
貞子って貞子？
Wait, so Sadako's parents died? And, I mean, Uishi-san's look told me that my voice was too loud. I mean, like, I'm not saying you have to bring it up as soon as you become friends with someone, but that's like... Yeah, something's going on here. Wait, no. Oh my god, I almost X'd out. I realized it as well and quickly quieted down.
3年目には神主夫婦が亡くなられますよね。
That's to do with Rika,
そ
I
のお
bet.
嬢さんが古出里香さんです。
リカちゃんが
4年目に亡くなった主婦はもうわかりますね。北条聡子さんの義理のおばです。当時は聡子さんはご両親を事故で失っていましたので預けられていたのです。
What the
被害
fuck?
者宅に。
I could tell my lips were getting dry. I didn't even have the wits to keep my mouth from hanging agape. I thought it was nothing but a bizarre incident, one that I could easily distance myself from, but clicking and clacking, it had snuck all the way to my
ちなみ
feet.
に4年目に失踪した北条聡さんは聡子さんの実の兄になります。
There's so much going on with Satoko. Nothing about Reina yet.
ちょっと待ってください。
But Reina's the one being creepiest. Took everything I had to finally say that. I gulped down a glass of water and once again wiped my face with a napkin. Calm down, Keiichi, my brother. But Uishi-san was relentless. Instead of waiting for me to finish sorting out my feelings, he started speaking again. The last of the things I shouldn't have heard.
被害者たちはなぜかあなたのお友達グループに全てつながるのです。
Fuck.
偶然に決まってるじゃないですか。
前原さん、静かに静かに。みんな見てますよ。
Mion? Satoko? Rika-chan? So what if they're connected? You're telling me all of my friends? It couldn't be. It just couldn't be. Oh, Reina's different, isn't she? Reina isn't connected with the victims at
竜宮
all.
玲奈さんは去年まで茨城の郊外にお住まいでした。まあ確かにいずれの被害者とも直接の面識はありませんが。
He said it in a roundabout way. Is he saying she's also connected?
実は調べてみたら竜宮さんは引っ越しの少し前に学校で謹慎処分を受けているんですよ。なんでも学校中のガラスを割って回ったんだとか。
It seems she went through her school building and broke all of the windows. Damn.
レナが
We all have our bad days. I'm not
学
judging.
校中のガラスを割った？
That same spacey Reina had... Couldn't even imagine
3
it.
日間の謹慎が明けた後も復学しなかったようです。その間に神経科に通院し、自律神経失調症と診断され、何週間かの間、投薬と医師によるカウンセリングを受けています。
The fuck does that mean? Disorders... Term for disorders affecting the autonomic nervous system. Oh my god, I can't read right today. Which controls involuntary functions like heart rate, blood pressure, digestion, temperature, and breathing. Autonomic nervous system. What the fuck? Fatigue, digestive issues. Just your body don't work right? Wonder if it's something like a nervous breakdown. That dude had a huge rack for a second. Yo, Makinochi. I heard that it happens to people who are really methodical or overly sensitive. Neither of those matched Reina's easygoing
です
personality.
ね。そのカウンセリングをした医師のカルテにレナさんの会話内容が記載されているんですがね。
He does. They're just on his belly. And it's just one boob.
その中に出てくるんですよ。結構。
何がです？
Press forward carelessly. There couldn't be anything more for me to
出
regret.
てくるんですよ。お社様って単語が。
Even though she hadn't moved here yet, she gonna make me act up. Felt like someone's stone cold hand was caressing my back. Why had Reina spoken of Oyashiro-sama before she even came to Hinamizawa? She's a demon. She's
お
literally
社
just a
様って
demon.
いう幽霊みたいなものがですね、夜な夜な自宅にやってくるっていうんですよ。
She doesn't even have parents. She's just a demon born from hell, given some type of corporeal form, so that she can come to school with us and terrorize us. And she's gonna kill me. She's literally gonna kill me. She's gonna
枕
she's
元
gonna
に立
end
っ
me.
て自分を見下ろすんだって。
My mind froze. I couldn't process what I was being
その
told.
後、しばらくしてひなみ沢に引っ越されたんです。ああ、そうそう。
I need him so bad. Jesus Christ, that picture. He looks like someone who has an AC in his car. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Yeah, I saw the original anime.
レナさんは
Pretty sure I finished it, but it was
よ
so
そ者
long
なん
ago. I
か
was
じゃな
really
いですよ。
young.
え？
住民票で分かったんですが、竜宮一家は元はひなみ沢の住人です。
Okay, so she does have
レナさんが
family.
ちょうど小学校に上がるときに茨城へ引っ越されたんです。
My mind went completely blank. It was similar to the static you'd see on a blank TV channel. My ears began ringing as I lost all
Mara-san,
sense of comprehension.
大丈夫ですか？もう終わりにしましょうか。
Yeah, the max cold setting for sure. Those words brought me back. I couldn't let it end
レナの
here.
ことは分かりました。じゃあ最後の被害者の富武さんはどうなんですか？誰と接点があるんですか？
Irritated, I let out one final reprisal.
全員ですよ。お忘れですか、前原さん。みんなで楽しくお祭りの晩を過ごしたじゃないですか。何人もの警官が皆さんの楽しそうな様子を見ていますよ。
Jesus Christ. Now there was nothing I could respond with. I fell silent as my brain turned to mush.
そろそろ出ましょう。ああ、前原さん。お昼の薬は飲みましたか？
Good question. I completely forgotten about the medicine I'd gotten today until Oishi-san said that. Got another glass of water and we left the shop after I chugged it down. We got in the car and returned to Minamizawa via the rough road. I never really paid attention when I was on my bike, but did cars normally shake this much? It's almost as if the road was desperately trying to tell me something. But that big jolt was from the difference in elevation of the road when it changed from cement to dirt. I was certain that I heard Tomitake-san scream. I sat in silence, just letting myself be
お家の
shaken by
前
the
まで送
car.
りましょう。今日は病気でお休みだったんです。長々とお話ししてしまって申し訳ありませんでした。
なんで俺に話すんですか？
I blurted out the question. Really just blurted it out. I didn't expect an
私
answer.
一応確認しましたよね。お話やめましょうかって。
じゃなくて、どうして俺に接触してきたんですか？
I understood quite well that Uishi-san was investigating this string of suspicious incidents, but why was he telling me all this? That's a good question. Like, if I was a suspect myself, even though I'm technically a part of this club, and I hung out with Tomitake-san, and I know all these suspicious people getting background checks. Like, if I was, like, really suspected myself, he wouldn't be telling me all this. Maybe he legit is worried for me, and he thinks something's gonna happen to me. I knew nothing and I couldn't help. Everything Uishi-san spoke of was news to me. First of all, what could I, having just moved here, possibly know? By chance, if there was a reason for Uishi-san to reach out to me, then it would have to be that I was part of Mion's circle of friends who looked suspicious to
私
Uishi-san.
ね、今年で定年なんです。定年したらばあ様の意向で引っ越しちゃう予定なんですよ。だからこそ在職中にこの事件だけははっきりさせておきたかったんです。
で、大石さんは疑ってるんですよね、みんなを。
Damn. Uishi-san didn't really give a response. It felt a little late, but I thought it was his way of showing a bit of consideration for my
こ
feelings.
れはこの道30年の勘です。前原さん、危ないのはあなたなんですよ。
It's me next. I'm gonna disappear. Eh? Oh. I wanted to reply with, that's absurd, but in my downtrodden state, I couldn't bring myself to
私は
say
今
it.
年で定年ですから、来年の綿流しの日にはもういません。だから今年中に決着をつけたいのです。
He wants to settle the score. In other words, he was insinuating that on the next Watanagashi, I
所
might
長
be the
からも
victim.
注意を受けています。一連の事件は個々に解決しているから蒸し返すなというんだ。これは一種の圧力です。
圧力って何のですか？
ひなみ沢の誰かですよ。着きました。この辺でいいですか？
After some time, the car finally reached the path to my house. The clock read 2 p.m. I was surprised so little time had passed since we ate. It was hot outside the car. No max AC. The chirping of the Higurashi hurt my ears.
今日の話は全て忘れてくださっても結構です。ですが、私は捜査を続けますよ。お社様のたたりは今年で終わらせます。
何かあったら連絡しろってことですか？
いいんですよ。前原さんがどうしても連絡したくなった時だけでいいんです。
I wasn't collected enough to understand Uishi-san's roundabout way of
ゆっ
saying
くり
it.
休んでください。病気でお休みの時によくない話ばかりして申し訳ありませんでしたね。
I didn't really give any sort of
私は
response.
いつでもあなたの味方です。
We'll
それ
always
だ
be
けは信じとい
besties.
てくださいよ。それじゃあ、失礼。
We're BFFs. The tires crunched over the dirt road as the car made a U-turn and disappeared into a cloud of kicked up dust. Felt like I was watching a boat only throw me a lifesaver in shark-infested waters before disappearing into the distance. That was the first time I thought Uishi-san was being unfair. Telling me I was going to be the next victim, then just saying to contact him if something happened. This wasn't a criminal investigation. He was fishing. And I was just the bait dangling off the line. Damn. The fish be the perpetrator? Was it really just Oyashiro-sama's curse? Either way, the bait would be swallowed
畜
whole.
生、俺死にたくないよ。
For some time, I could do nothing but stare at the puddle of water left behind by the AC from the car. Yay, we're home! I wonder how much time had passed since I laid down. It was getting dark outside. My body was soaked in sweat. It would probably be a good idea to change my sheets. That moment, the phone downstairs rang. It was probably Mom. Mom was quite the worrywart. Maybe she had called many times, but I just didn't notice it.
もしもし、前原ですけど。
Yo, Bluebird.
お、生きてた。もしもし。
It's the overall of that graphic novel.
ミオンだけど。具合はどう？
This is Mion? What the fuck? Okay, I'm scared. You mean this, visual novel?
圭一のお友達ですか？圭一は休んでますけど。変わりましょうか？
It's a scary one. It's a creepy one. And I really liked the anime for this.
え？あ、お父様で？すみません。
Aw, that's cute.
引っかかってやがるよ。
じゃん。
After our exchange, we both had a good laugh together. Except I was suspicious of her even as we were laughing. Was everybody really involved in the incidents? The fact that I couldn't say no saddened
そう
me.
で安心したよ。レナもすっごく心配してたよ。さとこはざまあないですわって喜んでたな。リカちゃんは病気でかわいそうですってさ。
チェ、みんなで勝手に大盛り上がりしてたみたいだな。
まあまあ。でさ、ケイちゃん、お見舞いに行っては都合悪いかな。
I said I'm not
いいよ、そ
feeling
んな。
well.
重病人ってわけじゃないんだから。
No, I'm the type of person that like I'd literally
う
fuck
ちのバ
off.
ッチャが
I
山
wouldn't
ほど
phrase
萩
it
を
like
作っ
that,
てさ、
but like
お葬
I
儀
don't
に
feel
持って
well.
けって言ってんだよ。だから持ってくね。
おいおい、風が移っても知らねえぞ。
おじさんもレナもおバカさんだから大丈夫。じゃあね、すぐ行くから。
She hung up cheerfully. Reina's coming too? That's what it sounded like. I was still concerned about meeting Reina, but I guess if she was with Mion. Keiichi said he's had perfect attendance with school. If he didn't feel well enough to go to school, I mean, maybe it was just an excuse to like, 'cause he didn't want to see his friends. But if he didn't feel well enough that he didn't go to school, I feel like he went to the hospital and he was given some type of medication. Like, just tell them another time.
どんな
Just
感
wait
じ？
until he's better.
ちゃんと薬飲んで寝てた？
そりゃもうしっかりとな。
元気そうでよかった。心配してたんだよ。
悪かったな。明日にはもう大丈夫だよ。
Mion showed a complete lack of concern for someone who's recovering, and Reina looked like she was worried about me from the bottom of her heart. It didn't look like there was anything behind those expressions.
ちょっとお邪魔しようかと思ったけど、まだ本調子じゃないみたいだね。
そうか？
It seemed my face appeared a bit sullen.
じゃあこれ、ケイチくん。みーちゃんのおばあちゃんが作ってくれたおはぎだよ。
Reina held out the package wrapped in newspaper. There might be about 5 in here. It was quite
サンキュ
hefty.
ーな。ミオンのばあちゃんによろしく伝えといてくれよ。
その中にね、レナが作ったのも混じってるんだよ。ケイチくんに見つけられるかな。これ、今日の部活を欠席したケイちゃんへの宿題ね。おはぎにアルファベットがついてるから、明日回答すること。
At the club meeting, they were plotting on my fucking downfall, I swear to you.
お見舞いなのか部活なのか、どっちかにしろ。
Toho game art?
元気元気。
I remember playing
こ
the
れなら
Toho
明日は
game.
大丈夫そうだね。
この騒ぎで熱がぶり返したらどうしてくれんだよ、まったく。
みーちゃん、あんまり騒いじゃ悪いよ。もう行こう。お家の人にも怒られるよ。
Both of them thought my parents were home. It was because the entryway was a mess.
そうだね。もう行こっかね。あ、そうそう、ケイちゃん。
なんだよ。
お昼、何食べた？
I swear to you guys, my stomach just sank. What the fuck? Oh my god. Her eyes look empty. I don't feel good. I literally don't feel good. Like, I don't. Oh my god. Oh, fuck. Jesus. This visual novel is so good at just like, as it being at, oh my god, I can't, like, I'm stuttering. I can't. It's so good at being creepy. The sudden question startled me, and I went wide-eyed when I saw Mion. Can you guys hear my voice shaking? I'd never seen her like that. It was a highly unsettling visage. But why is she asking me about what I ate for lunch? What she said was so inane that it was almost meaningless. The way she said it, it was almost like she didn't care at all about what I ate.
表で食べたよ。
She must have suspected that I was with Uishi-san. Anyway, I felt that if I hesitated or tried to change the subject, then they'd read too deep into it. So I tried answering as quickly as possible. Except contrary to the efforts I had made, there was a pause before they replied.
ケイチくん、お昼は外食だったんだね。
I'm getting the creepy fluoride stare. It's a new version of the fluoride stare. Jesus. The glimmer from Reina's eyes had changed at some point as well. It was now sharp, as if to make me feel the feigned ignorance behind her words even more. As if she already knew. That's how it looked to
どう？
me.
美味しかった？
なんでそんなことを聞くんだよ。
Mion was speaking in an unusually low tone, almost as if she knew that I'd eaten at the restaurant in town. No, I'm overthinking this. I mean, both of them should have been in school at lunchtime. There was no way they could have known where I was. What the fuck?
渋いおじさまとご一緒だったみたいだけど。誰？
Okay, things are like really, they're in my house. They're giving me the I'm gonna murder you fluoride stare. They're asking me questions they would only have known if they weren't at school and were like tracking me down. And they just claimed they were at school and went to a club meeting. Like, it's about to go down. Whatever chapter this is, it's like chapter 9 or something. It's... Holy shit. I think there's a couple more in Onikakushi. Flop, the package with the mochi I was holding slipped out of my hands. How are they... How... Are they gonna attack me right here? Oh my god, oh my god. I got so used to Mion with the gun. It just like, is she gonna shoot me? Is she gonna unholster that thing and just like blow me away? I could tell the blood had drained from my face, making me go pale.
へえ。
へえ。
ケイチくん、それ誰？ひ
ひ
ょっとして、この間の人かな？かな？
I feel the back of my throat going dry. This was no longer a bluff. They knew everything.
なんでそんなことわかるんだよ。
It took everything I had to finally force those words from my throat. My knees were shaking.
さーてね。おじさんにわからないことはないからね。
Mion sneered knowingly, and her laugh seemed to carry on forever.
ケイちゃん、何のお話をしてたの？
She doesn't seem like she's laughing.
随分と熱くなってたみたいだけど。
She's gonna blow you away, but not with the gun.
みんなの話はしてないよ。ミオンともレナとも関係ない。
聞いてもないのにレナたちの名前が出るなんて、なんだか怪しいな。
Reina's unwavering gaze pierced through my eyes and peered further inside me. I dug my own grave. My heart was throbbing so much it felt like I was gonna explode.
何を隠れてやろうとも、おじさんにはすべてお見通しってこと。それだけを忘れないでくれればいいかな。
I couldn't even shake my head. It took everything I had to stop my teeth from chattering. She never let her gaze break from mine, even as she tilted her head slightly. Oh my god.
顔色悪いよ。
Yeah, I don't feel so good.
もう横になった方がいいと思うな。
Can you guys leave
そうだね。
first?
私たちはもう帰ろう。
Yeah, get the fuck out of my house. As if nothing had happened, they both giggled at each other and started making their way out. I hadn't moved a muscle since I dropped the package of mochi. As they left, the door slowly closed behind them. All I could do was stare, as if I couldn't move until the door was completely closed. Just as the door was about closed, it opened again slightly with a sudden creak, sending my heart racing once again. What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my god, okay. That made me jump for a second. Oh my god. A single eye peered in through the narrow slit, and Mion's hawkish gaze peered at me once again.
じゃあね、ケイちゃん。
あ、
明日、学校休んじゃ嫌だよ。
Well, too bad. Maybe I'm not gonna feel so fucking good tomorrow, bitch. The door closed. I wasn't able to move a muscle, even after their low laughter died off in the distance and silence once again enveloped the room. Coming back to my senses, the first thing I did was lock the door. They knew what Oishi-san and I talked about? Why? How? No, that wasn't important. Thinking about it now, all of it could have been overheard. From the beginning when Oishi-san met me, just as Mion said, I couldn't hide anything. Then, what were they trying to tell me? That part was obvious. They were warning me not to say anything unnecessary. What did they deem unnecessary? I only talked with Oishi-san about one thing. And they were warning me that that was unnecessary. What was it that Oishi-san talked to me about? The incidents involving Oishio-sama's curse that occurred every year were in individual cases, but were connected as a whole, as well as the fact that there may be multiple perpetrators hidden within Namizawa. No, more precisely, that Mion, Reina, Sasuke, and Rika-chan were all suspicious. Is that what they were warning me against?
何バカなこと考えてんだよ。俺。
I mean, that's literally, it's like, it's like... Keiichi, you gotta wake up. Or me in this visual novel. I gotta wake up. Like, I hit my own face hard enough that I let out a loud slap. No, that's not reality denying it. Reality is the fact that they're threatening you. If only that would wake me from this nightmare, but for some reason it felt like I was punching a blanket. It was almost laughably painless. Calm down, Keiichi, my brother. When did I become such a pessimist? Calm down, settle down and sort things out. The reason Mion knew I was eating lunch with Uishi-san was probably because someone from Hinamizawa just happened to be there at the time. Yo, Rix. They must have told Mion that I was there. That made the most sense. Plus, come to think of it, she didn't ask me where I ate lunch, did she? She only asked, was it good? They were just curious since I went with someone not from Hinamizawa. It's not as if they had any ulterior motives. That's it. That has to be it. Thinking about it that way, it was the same with Reina. I was just being strangely ambiguous about when I met with Oishi-san, and Reina was just correcting me on that. That's when I was bewildered by the change in character from the usual mild-mannered Reina, and was just startled by it. That's the most natural way of thinking about it. It felt like my mind was mixed up like a tangled mess of spaghetti. Deep red marinara sauce would have poured out of my nose and ears if you squeezed my head. Jesus. Thinking that, I suddenly felt like vomiting. I really didn't want that to happen, so I stopped holding my head. Lately, I had no idea what anyone was saying. Spending time with them was fun. It didn't feel like there was any sort of hidden agenda. I really do think that they're a good bunch of people. When I just moved here and couldn't make heads or tails of everything, they were really kind to me. Reina was really kind and always looked after me. As long as that strange affliction didn't rear its ugly head, she was really pretty cute. Miana's also a really good person. She didn't care about anyone's age or gender, and was optimistic and outgoing. I was never bored when I was with her. And talking of not getting bored, rambunctious Sadako was a good person for that. She tried to maim me! She's like, Sadako's trying to get me killed! Sadako wants to hurt me! She's trying to stick me with thumbtacks at school, and she does it before the teacher shows up, and then the teacher shows up when I'm trying to, like, smack her, which is justified, and she's, okay. Calm down. She was pretty bratty, but that was just the way she interacted with others. Rika-chan was the same way. She didn't speak often, but that didn't mean she was always silent. They're my friends, but after hearing of the better untold secrets of Hinamizawa from Uishi-san and Tomitake-san, when I was told about Oyashiro-sama's curse, things started going crazy. Then hearing from Uishi-san that Mion, Reina, Sadako, and Rika-chan were all suspicious. After that, everyone changed. That's right. It all started getting weird after Uishi-san told me about all that strange stuff. At that time, I really should have just not listened to those weird stories. Everyone is sus. I shouldn't even have asked Tomitake-san about the past incidents on the night of the Watanagashi. I just hadn't gotten that strange sense of curiosity. If I just hadn't... That's right. So that's why they... that's why... Okay, obviously my mind went to like... So that's why they fucked Tomitake-san. Unalived. Why is that censored? Holy shit. Game ended. This is supposed to be decensored, and they... They brought up killing before. They literally mentioned, like, killing. Suicide, clawing someone's throat out. This is weird. They'll probably kill Oishi-san as well for trying to unearth what everybody was warning me was better left buried. Besides that, he was unforgivable for spewing words that made me doubt the others. Of course, a guy like that is going to be killed. Like, in my mind, I'm like, maybe they're doing this because I'm, like, turning, like, this is where I'm turning a blind eye to, like, what's going on. I'm becoming delusional again and believing my friends when I shouldn't. Both Tomitake-san and Uishi-san were nothing but outsiders after all. They were entities who couldn't coexist with the people of Hinamizawa. Those guys should just fall to Oyashiro-sama's curse and just... What? Bro! Outsiders who couldn't coexist? Nothing but outsiders. They should just fall to the curse and... Okay, I'm losing my mind. It wasn't their fault. It was my fault for not being able to hold back my curiosity. It wasn't their fault. 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 I settled into a daze. It was a lethargic feeling like I had just gotten up, but the ominous chill that haunted me had subsided. I was fine now. I was no longer frightened. I'd completely recovered. I'll go to school tomorrow right as rain. I'll greet everyone. I'll take part in club activities. It'll definitely be fun. It had to be fun. I was one of them after all.
おはぎ食べないと。どれがレナの手作りか当てないといけないんだよな。
I remembered the homework the two brought with them when they visited me. But wow, our club did delivery. That was something else. I picked up the package I dropped on the floor and headed into the living room. It would be nice, I guess, to have some tea with it. To fill my mouth with mochi while drinking tea. Oh, this was quite a delectable situation I was in. Oh, what a delectable situation I'm in. That's just how it sounds. Opening up the newspaper wrapping, there were 5 plump red bean paste mochi fit snugly inside. There were letters written from left to right on the newspaper. A, B, C, D, and E. Now then. They said Reina made one of these. I wonder which one. There wasn't much difference in how they looked. They smelled and appeared about the same. This was a pretty difficult problem. The biggest difference... Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, okay, no. Okay. Fuck, oh my god. I'm, like, remembering something, I think. Not, like, specifics, but the biggest difference was probably their shape. I wasn't sure what kind of person... I'm literally, like, the aware. This was... I swear I made this face, like, when I paused there. Like, I'm literally... Oh, God. When that, like, a certain memory pops up. Wasn't sure what kind of person Mion's grandma was, but Reina's had to be different from hers. Looking carefully, I could see one mochi that was made very neatly. So well that, just by staring at it, one could tell it
こ
stood
の一
out.
個がレナのか否かが勝負の分かれ目みたいだな。
And I ate the red bean mochi and everything was fine. Did this bitch... Okay, calm down and think even harder. Mion had said her grandma made a ton of them and was told to give some out if I remembered correctly. There's more chapters of this visual novel and I think I'm the protagonist. I don't think she can poison me here. Is that what she's gonna do? Something doesn't feel right, like, just generally. I think I'd suspect something either way if I hadn't seen the anime. Oh my god, so that meant 4 of these were made from that large batch. And what about Reina? She probably only made 1, so she probably spent quite a bit of time on it. Meaning the one Reina had made was this one, E. E. For a moment, I thought it may have been a trap Mion laid as she knew I'd pick up on it, but that probably wasn't the case. I wouldn't be so sure if I knew Mion had made it, but since she said Reina had made it, it probably wasn't a trap. Oh my god. Too much foreshadowing. She put rat poison in it.
よし。お茶も準備 OK。
Is this how Onikakushi ends? Is this the
ま
last
ずはディフェンディングチ
subchapter?
ャンピオンのミオンのばあちゃんからだ。
I'm gonna buy the second
Yeah.
chapter for the Steam sale, so... I'm pretty sure I did already check out with it, yeah. So I guess Bro, am I about to fucking die? My tea is ready too. We'll start with the defending champ, Mion's grandma. Let's see. I guess I feel like nauseous almost. Oh shit, okay. I actually, out of nowhere, I realized I have to pee really bad. This is like really bad timing, but I can't help it. Hold on. Oh, that's hitting me. I'll be quick, I promise. Oh my god. Meanwhile, I'm trying to eat a pumpkin pie through this. Mom said it's a week old and I'm forcing it down my tummy. Did my mom stash needles in it? I think they're like foreshadowing it too much. I think I'm remembering something from the anime that doesn't... It's not something bad that happens to me. Maybe it's something that happens to the girls? Because, like, okay, like, I know, like, a lot of people in the chat, like, have already mentioned they've seen it. I mentioned I've seen it. Like, bad things happen to other people. I don't remember specifics. I think there's something with nails. Does someone get, like, strung up like Jesus Christ himself? And get, like, crucified? Jesus. They're foreshadowing it too much. I think it's all gonna be fine. And he... Okay, Reina's is gonna be fine, and... I think... Okay. Guys, my media my media literacy. Do I have the clueless emote? Okay. So there's a bit too much foreshadowing. And right now I'm at a stage where I'm very confused. I don't know if I want to believe my friends or not. If I want to believe the cop or not. Reina's is going to be delicious, and now I'm going to be very trusting, very, like, I'm going to be so tight with my friends, and something really bad is going to happen later on, either to me or someone else in the group, and it's going to get really bad. I'm going to be really suspicious of them. Just breathe. I feel like a sense of relief. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. You guys are impressed by my media literacy. Media literacy. The tea I drank afterwards also accentuated the experience. This was an exquisite piece of work. Now, how about Reina's? The creation was so delicate, one would think it was a high-class Japanese dessert. Since I normally had quite the appetite, I was slightly worried about the size of the portion. But, well, first a bite. This was quite a difficult one to judge, actually. The ingredients were exactly the same, so there was little difference in flavor. Oh shit, oops. My bad. Yeah, it's just been, like, the thing, like, of the kitchen, and then it just now went to the black screen, as I was like, nom nom, about to bite it. What was different was how it was shaped at the end, so it was to be expected. So the deciding factors would be presentation and volume. The well-formed and well-sized champion versus Reina the challenger with a size you just couldn't get enough of. I'd only had one bite of Reina's. I'd probably have to wait until after I was done eating to make my decision. Maybe there was something hidden inside that could cause an upset. Seems my prediction was right. My tongue touched something. It didn't feel like something edible, so I reached in with my fingers and grabbed it. What? What was this? Before I could fully comprehend what it was, I threw away the rest of the mochi I was eating as fast as I could. It slammed against the wall, causing the bean jam to splatter. Then after sticking for a moment, it slid down to the floor. I was dumbstruck by my own actions. What was I doing? Reina had gone out of her way to make it for me. How could... Dumbstruck. I keep saying dumbstruck. I looked down at the hand that performed such a vile act. Then I remembered what I had taken out of my mouth. At first I thought it was a hair. Even though it was shorter than Mion's, Reina's hair was still quite long. And it wasn't this short. It's also a bit too hard to be hair. It was thick enough to roll around on my tongue. There was a bit of metal. Oh my god. Okay. Maybe I'm not that media literate. I guess there was a hole for where thread goes, like it was a sewing needle. Fucking never mind. Yes, Sadako had something to do with this shit. Yes, that's right. It looked very much like a sewing needle. Exactly like one. The end was pointed as well, quite sharply. It really did look just like a sewing needle. I'm so anxious. What did I mean by looked very much like a sewing needle just a bit ago? I couldn't answer, but a voice inside me already knew and let me know by chattering my molars together. I couldn't stave off the terror welling up inside me. Suddenly, I tasted something metallic and felt a prickling pain in the back of my throat. I stuck my finger in the back of my throat to see if I was bleeding. Suddenly, I felt the urge to vomit. The sharp taste of bile irritated the back of my throat. I don't feel so... Oh my god, I'm like, guys, I can't. I don't think I can. I can't. I clasped both hands in my mouth, and after writhing in agony, I was somehow able to hold back nausea. I was finally able to breathe normally. I can't narrate. My heart was throbbing intensely, then it finally registered exactly what was mixed in with the mochi. Before I could think of the correct word, my hands were already on the move. Tossed the rest of the mochi against the wall. The geometrical patterns of the scattering bean jam on the wall suddenly invoked a terrible omen in my mind. After looking away, I dashed out to the hall and flew upstairs to my room, where I stayed under my covers until morning. I clutched my own shoulders, howling madly in a mix of fear, anger, sadness, and frustration. This wasn't a threat or warning or reminder, nothing as simple as that. What had happened in Ninamizawa? What is happening in Ninamizawa? That is literally so evil. That's disgusting. What would happen? I didn't know the answer to any of these questions. Where did I break a taboo? Regardless, now Reina and Mion and others, they consider me an enemy. And they thought I should just die. They literally tried to kill me. This wasn't even a warning. If I swallowed a needle, that would have killed me. I won't let you kill me, not for such a pointless reason. I fell into a restless sleep as I was crushed by my negative. I can't narrate. I'm like, I can't stop reading even faster than I was. I already read fast. It was as if I was being drawn into a billowing, bottomless swamp. Oh my god, I like the relief I feel that like I'm pretty sure this signals that the chapter's over. Or not always. Sometimes it shows that and it just goes to like the next day or another scene. That'll feel good. Ah. Enjoy? Hard to swallow. Enjoy? Question mark? A homemade snack is what it said. What's a drug that makes you commit suicide?
単刀直入に自殺させる薬ってないんですか？
直接的にはない。
遠回しですね。では間接的にはあるってことですか？
自殺したくなる精神状態を誘発することはできる。ちゅうことだ。
難しい言い方になりましたね。何ですかその自殺したくなる精神状態ってのは。
例えば一般的な心理学見地から言えばじゃが、心理面が内向状態から外向状態に転じるときに最も自殺が多いと言われちょる。
Clinical depression and bipolar disorder are different. Clinical depression indicates a prolonged state of depression, whereas bipolar disorder is characterized by a passive, depressed state accompanied by a very active manic state.
内向状態の時は自信を喪失し非常に悲観的だ。自殺をする気力すらないからだ。逆の状態もまた自殺をせん。今度は逆に非常に自信過剰で行動的なので、自らを順風満帆と思う。だから自殺などせんのだ。
なるほどね。どっちの状態でも自殺をしないのに、状態が入れ替わるときに自殺するんですか？
内向状態には自殺願望はあるが、自殺という大仕事を遂げる気力すらもない。だが外向状態が始まると徐々に気力が充実し。
なるほど。つまり自殺する気力が回復するわけですね。
そういうことじゃのう。だからこの時期に変な気を起こさんように処方箋を施すわけじゃな。
では富武氏はこの心理状態だったんですか？
一般的に自殺はちゃんとした文化的な手法で行われる。自虐行動とは。
富武氏の自殺はではやっぱり何かの中毒と考えるのが自然ですか？最初に言った自殺したくなる精神状態を起こす薬ってのを教えてください。
鎮痛薬の一部には心理を内向から外向に過剰転換させる効果があると報告されとる。それから催眠作用を持つ薬を異常摂取した場合にも異常行動が報告されとるが、あまり一般的ではないの。
その2つは検視の報告だと違うみたいですね。他の可能性は？
あとは病気しか考えられん。甲状腺異常を引き起こす病気にしばしばそれに似た症状が報告されとる。だが仏は違うの。
もっと突発的に発生するものはありませんかね。今回のケースと合うような突発性で自殺したくなるようなやつです。
I'm sorry, like the thought of swallowing needles is so terrifying. Now I feel uneasy just regularly swallowing, like, as I'm sitting here and like breathing. Oh my god. This visual novel is so good. It's so creepy. It's so scary. Holy shit.
他には、そうじゃな。脳障害によって精神に異常を発生する状態じゃな。これは薬物中毒でも起こるが、脳の外傷や一部の病気なんかでも起こる。
つまり薬によらなくても異常な精神状態に陥る可能性があると。
仏は犯人に囲まれて命に危険が迫っとったんじゃろ。極度の緊張が続いて それに分泌異常が
Voice
重なって、
actors
さらに打ちどころが悪くて脳に障害が起こり自虐行動に走った。
It's been so
可能性もある
long,
かも
I
しれん
can't
の。
even. Yeah, I can't even imagine what they sounded like. Anyone who's like watched it more recently, if you can like give your opinion in chat, because I haven't.
もう
It's
ちょ
so
っと
long.
省略して言ってくれませんかね。
つまり乱闘中に豆腐の角に頭ぶつけて、それで異常が発生したと言っとるんだ。
じゃあ星には殺意はなかったってことですかね。
I'm assuming like you mean the original anime, not the newer
ちょ
one.
いと小銭を巻き上げようと思ったらたまたま殴りどころが悪かったと。
The two plump men laughed
な
hoarsely.
んてわけはありませんね。
ふわはん。いかにも薬物の常用にせよ精神的なものにせよ、仏の身元が鍵を握っとるぞい。そっちはどうなっとるんじゃ。
ありゃ、こんな時間、そろそろ戻らないとクマちゃん怒っちゃいますね。
おお、頑張れよ。いいお年をの。
Plump men. Yeah, thick boys are the best.
いいお年を。
Keiichi-kun. Threat. Okay, so maybe my media literacy wasn't off the
Yeah.
charts with this one.
今の皆さんは確か
議員バッジが2人いたっすね。
じゃあ県議と市議の園崎だ。
面白いっすね。親戚同士で県議と市議やってんすか。
これがずるいんですよ。お互いの名前で慈善運動バンバン。片方の選挙中にはもう片方が別に講演会を開いて二重に選挙運動やってんですよ。堂々と。
よくわかんないんすけど、それって公選法違反じゃないんすか？
慈善運動にならない限り政治活動は無制限ですからね。公選法くらいは勉強してください。
俺、知能犯化は無理っす。バカですから。
There was prefectural assembly member Sonozaki and city councilor Sonozaki, also the mayor of Hinamizawa. So they're all influenced by the Sonozaki family. What
お
crap?
見送りしてんのは副所長とうちの課長っすね。
Came to me. That night, when the department chief invited me along to go to get some Odin, I thought that was it.
大石さんは友達多いから聞いてるかもしれないけど、聞いてるかな。
いいえ、何も。
お母さん、ガモにはんぺん頼みます。所長んとこに議員の怒鳴り込みがあったんだよ。
あれま、そうなんですか。あ、お母さん、私にもう一杯ください。
Prefectural assembly member Sonozaki and city councilor Sonozaki were both intimidating. Our snot-nosed career police chief couldn't handle being yelled at by them. They're like
南沢
Yakuza.
事件の捜査の仕方で君を指名して陳情してきたよ。
ありゃ、私はてはて。
とぼけるなよ。例のひなみ沢の過去の事件蒸し返してるだろ。
私、富武殺しで手一杯でそんな余裕ないですよ。ね。
本当に？本当にそうならいいんだけどさ。
While we were silent, we made headway on our food and drink.
いやー、ごちそうになっちゃいました。今月は負けっぱなしだったんで財布つらかったんですよ。助かりました。
いや、いいよ。また大井さんと同じ馬を買うから。
最近はダメです。馬の声がさっぱりですから。タクシー。
Oh my god, it's hard to read. I'm like so overwhelmed by what just happened with almost swallowing needles. I'm serious. I'm going by train. The department chief is taking a taxi. I have my own car, but it'd be rash to drive it home. Can't blow it right before retirement with a DUI. Even though he could still rattle off, it looked like his legs were jelly.
ではではまた明日。良いお年を。
大石さん。
はいはい。
過去の事件は全部個別に終わってる。村の連中は半ば本気でタタリを信じてるんだから。
私だってタタリなんか信じちゃいませんよ。
大石さんは来年で退職じゃないですか。
ゲイチ君。
退職金でローン返してお母さんと北海道に引っ越すんじゃなかったっけ？
ばあ様がどうしても生まれの北海道に帰りたいって泣くんですよ。最後のご奉公なんです。退職金はまあすすきので楽しむことにしますな。
所長は退職時特別昇給を見直すかもってさ。
Public servants' severance payment is calculated based on their monthly salary when they retire, so a special promotion, 2 pay grades is given before retirement. This tops up the employee's severance payment. That tends to be how it's done around here. Of course, it's not exactly a commendable custom. Incidentally, the difference that 2 pay grades makes to the payout is quite significant.
さすがインテリの若所長は言い出すことが模範的です。でもまあ。
でも。
私たちの給料が血税で支払われてることを思えば、まあ時代の流れですかね。
Certainly wasn't a laughing matter, but I'll laugh through it anyway.
僕も模範的なこととは思わないよ。でもまあ、大石さんはそれだけの退職金をもらってもおかしくない活躍をしてきたからさ。僕としてはぜひもらってほしいんだよ。
もらえるもんならそりゃ欲しいですけどね。
もらえるよ。大石さんが大人なら。
運転手さん、引き止めてすみませんね。お願いします。
Closed the door roughly, interrupting the department chief's conversation a bit rudely. Looked like he still had something to say, but he just smiled wryly and waved. I waved in return. The cab sped up gradually and soon disappeared among the sea of lights.
参ったな。ローン返済できるかな。
Holy shit. Was there like a veiled threat in there that I didn't notice? They just talked about like his pay. And how like only half of the people in the village believe the curse. Holy shit. Okay, I'm saving here. Not only am I pretty tired, and also that you guys could tell from my voice that shook me up a bit. I'm very easily shook with creepy games. It's true. I don't know if that makes it worse to watch or better, but also my throat hurts from talking a lot. I like narrating it, but I was also talking a lot when I was playing Deadlock earlier. I was quite chatty, trying to order people around. I want people to do what I say, because I know what's best. I know how we're gonna win in fucking low ranks. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty tired. I don't think I'm gonna raid someone. I normally like to, but good night, guys. Thank you for watching. It means a lot, you guys being here.